Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Storm of Swords, chapters 66 and 67, Tyrion and Jaime. In these chapters, Cersei takes her brother Tyrion to trial, and Jaime takes his sworn brothers to task. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. So, Harmit, who died in these chapters?
Did anyone die? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay, you said it like you were expecting something.
Tyrion's hopes for a life.
Please.
A fair trial.
Please. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Jaime's respect for his brothers. All right, well, let's move on to what you thought of these chapters.
Okay, these were kind of fun. I liked them. Yeah, they were good. They were kind of just like neutral. Like, it was good. It was nice we had some continuity. Both of them were at King's Landing. Same stuff going on. I did like the whole Sworn Brothers segment. Like, that was fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just like a little stress-inducing. Because I was like, is Tyrion about to die right now? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll get to that.
Lots of names. Not lots going on, but lots of names. Lots of people trying to get in on the action for sure.
Yeah. This is going to be one where it's going to be hard for me to not get stuck on the details.
Yeah, there are so many. Oh my Lanta.
Do you want to summarize real quick so we can dive into them?
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Tyrion's on trial. Everyone's testifying against him. He tries to get Sansa, ain't got nobody. He wants to get Bronn to be his champion so that he can duel to the death, but that's not gonna work. Eventually, things are not looking good for him, and Red Viper shows up and he's like, I'll be your champion. He's like, what the fuck? But before that, we have a whole thing of Red Viper being like, oh my god, did you do it? Cersei said she'll marry me if I, because he's one of the judges, and so is Tyrell, and so is Tywin, and they're gonna judge, but it's not looking good. Basically, he's like...
Switch.
Jaime has... Jaime's looking at the white book, he's reading the diary entries, basically, and then he's like, oh my god, whatever, crisis, he's having a crisis, and then eventually he has a meeting with all his brothers, and he's basically calling them all out on their bullshit, and he's like, this is how things are gonna work from now on, and then he kind of calls them all out individually, and like, gives them tasks, and he's like, I'm the man, let's go. That's basically what happens.
Okay, that's a minute. You actually got all the things in the things.
I did.
Okay, so Tyrion has a difficult task of proving his innocence at trial, which is the opposite of a fair trial, which is where he should be innocent until proven guilty, except here he is guilty until he can prove he's innocent, except they're not going to let him prove himself innocent because he can't even cross-examine the witnesses. Excuse me?
They're like, if
what?
you speak, you are done. Like, homie, what?
Like,
Objection,
you're
Your
just gonna
Honor?
let them, like, spew lies, and he can't even, like, object, Your Honor? Like,
yeah, basically.
It was so frustrating. And he's getting mad, obviously, like, very reasonably throughout this whole process, and just getting reprimanded for that, and it's making him more mad, and I'm getting mad, and it's just a mad fest.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like,
I had to, like, take a break in the middle of the chapter because I was just, like, getting so heated.
Yeah, they were just going at it, and it was a lot. It was definitely a lot.
Yeah. Also, Cersei's, like, doing so much.
She's going at it.
Yeah, did she put together this whole thing on her own? I don't know.
I feel confused. I'm like, this is like I feel like this is like at least 50 people, probably more.
Oh yeah, it's like lots of witnesses, but like it's actually the way she's structured her case.
No, that too
actually
is
kind of makes sense. And I don't expect Cersei to make sense, so this was all a surprise to me.
No, this was really weird. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And it was so, like, almost felt like a setup. Like, there was almost a part of me that was like, maybe Cersei just did this to get rid of Tyrion. Like, maybe everything is planned. But then I was like, no way. Like, obviously, it's like literally the only...
she killed her own kid to get rid of Tyrion kind of plan?
There was almost a moment where I thought that. But then I was like, okay, obviously not. Like the only, low-key, the only person she cares about vibe. But it was just one of those things where it was like...
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a very... I feel like somebody's got to be helping her, like, plan, like she's got a lawyer, like, you know, planning her case or whatever, because this is not the level of smart I expect from Cersei. Like we've had encounters with her, like at the Battle of the Blackwater, where she's making some not so great decisions, and I don't know if that's just like because it's so in the moment, but she can, if she's given like a week, she can plan things well.
Yeah, but I feel like she's made so many, like, the amount of times we've seen Tyrion outsmart her and be like, oh, I know she's gonna do that. Like, this feels very out of character. Like, to be fair, you know, with like the Ned stuff and like the Robert and the Jon Arryn stuff, like, yes.
Well, except with the Jon Arryn stuff, she wasn't very smart because she has denied having any part in having Jon Arryn killed. So her plan for Jon Arryn was like, oh, we're just going to let him hang out.
And then,
so
I don't know.
With Ned, she definitely she definitely knew how to play the game better than him. Mm-hmm. But I won't say that she really had a plan for Jon Arryn going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
So it's she has spurts of smarts. I don't know. It's like that thing where, you know, when like a child is in danger and then the parent like does like a heroic task, like lifts a truck off their body or something. This is her version of it, except she just like gets like a lot of like adrenaline straight shot into her brain or something. And she's like, okay, I'm going to plan this meticulous case that nobody can question because he's not allowed to question it because that's a fair trial in our world.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all very confusing. My brain is jumbled.
let's source it out to our listeners. People, please tell us how Cersei came up with this plan. Like, what's the mechanics behind this? Because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a lot of Cersei hate, but like she hasn't proven to be the greatest person or the smartest.
It's just one of those things where it's like she has been smart in the past, and like to say that she couldn't pull this together, I don't think that would be fair, but I just think that right after her kid dying, like, you know, is not...
Maybe that's like the push she needed, like to like be hyper focused on this one thing. Because she's decided that Tyrion is like guilty, so she's just really good at pulling like the evidence, and also we know some of the evidence is just straight up like lies. So
yeah. I don't know, because it's also like maybe it's one of those things, because half of these things like she already had, she just didn't have something to use them against. Like she already knew like half of the altercations that Tyrion and Joffrey had gotten into. So maybe it was
but just to like really present them in a way that they like ramp up slowly and make him into this horrible person. Like,
yeah, but to be like, she is smart.
Yeah.
She is smart. I feel like we're not giving her the credit that she deserves.
Okay, well, if this is an indication of the kind of regent she's going to be to Tommen, that's good news. But also bad news for Tyrion, because he's in the shits right now, so...
Yeah, okay, let's get started.
Okay, Tyrion is at trial, and Kevin's like the go-between, like he's the messenger throughout this whole chapter.
And he's basically just tells him, like, okay, so Tyrell, Oberyn, and Tywin are all gonna be, like, your judges, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, that's what's happening. And Tyrion's like, okay, well, can I just do, like, trial by battle? And he's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that. And Tyrion's like, okay, but why? And he's like, well, your sister is gonna get Gregor Clegane. So, I don't know.
So, good luck with that.
And, like, A, it's Gregor. And B, it's not like people are lining up to defend you. So they don't even need, like, Gregor.
Yeah, like, Tyrion doesn't have a champion anyway.
And on top of
and
it,
if he did...
Gregor. Like, who's gonna do that?
And he's not allowed to leave his tower cell. That part kind of made sense, but also they should, like, hire him a lawyer. That's all I'm saying. Like,
right,
you know?
Right.
If he himself can't be out there collecting evidence, then he needs somebody who can do it for him.
Please.
But they will allow Podrick Payne to come and go, so that's something.
Slay Pod.
Kevin is on his way out, and Tyrion's like, I didn't do this. And Kevin's like, I wish I could believe that. And as the chapter goes on, Kevin is really clearly buying into Cersei's case and less on Tyrion's side.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
But he's given Tyrion like paper and pen to write down a list of witnesses, and Tyrion like thinks real hard, like over the course of like a day and a half, and all he could come up with Sansa. But he also suspects that Sansa poisoned Joffrey because she had enough reason, and also she vanished right after, so why would she do that?
Yeah.
But he also doesn't think that she could have done this alone.
Yeah.
So somebody was probably helping her, but also if she's the one who did it, then it may as well be that Tyrion did it, and he's gonna get blamed for it.
Yeah. So it's not like he can use that argument, like, oh, she disappeared, it must be her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he gives his list to Kevin to go find his witnesses, Kevin's like, that's all you got, but also she's gone. We're looking for her, but it's not looking good.
Yeah. And he also tells Pod to go get Bronn, because
yes,
he's like, okay, Bronn can, literally the only person who would even possibly do this for me. And it's been like a day and a half, and Pod's still not back. Because he basically was like, don't come back until you have Bronn. Like, I need Bronn. So I can imagine the anxiety that Pod is going through right now.
Yeah, well, apparently he, like, begs
Yeah.
Bronn to come, and that's the only thing that eventually gets him to come.
Yeah.
And when Bronn does arrive, he's studded in some new swag. I don't know. Like, he's wearing some nice clothing, and he's got a jaunt to his walk. I don't know.
Yeah.
And apparently, he is getting married to Lawless Stokeworth.
What the heck?
Yeah, as arranged by Cersei, because the Stokeworths are, like, desperate to marry Lawless off because of the fact that she's pregnant, unwed, and also has a mental disability. So everybody's just like, yeah, Bronn's a knight, we'll do this. And obviously Cersei wants to make sure that Tyrion can't offer Bronn anything better. So she's set him up for this match.
Oh my god.
You know, Tyrion's trying to be like, yeah, but she's not even the heir. She is a sister. And Bronn's like, yeah, but sisters die. Like,
yeah,
who knows what's going to happen?
And the sister ain't got no kids, so only one person to dispose of. Like, what? Oh my god. This is what I mean. Like, everything is so meticulous. Like, there was, like, how... I don't know.
Yeah, it's an airtight case. Like,
it's... Wow.
If Tyrion was allowed to question and actually, like, build a case, like, then it won't be this. But given the circumstances, this case is
They've
solid.
Basically, yeah,
they've left him no room to breathe.
Yeah. And Tyrion's like, okay, well, like, looks like you got your plan. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, you told me once that you would, like, basically match...
Double.
Yeah, match anyone else who tried to buy me out, so just giving you a last chance. And Tyrion thinks about it, and he basically is just like, well...
Yeah, I'm short on some castles and wives right now, but, yeah, is there, like, I can give you money and...
I'll remember
gratitude.
This, you know? Like, if I ever get out, I'll give you gratitude. Please. You can tell he's, like, down in the dumps, and he's got no other options when he's like, I'll give you gratitude.
Yeah, and, like... Bronn's like, well, it's gonna take a big castle if you want me to kill Gregor Clegane. And also, your sister is a Lannister who pays her debts, just like you, so why should I help you over me?
He's like, maybe if I get out, you know, I'll have Winterfell, so, like, can give you something.
Yeah, and... Yeah, Bronn's like, ifs and whens and maybes. Like, that's not doing much for me.
Yeah.
And Tyrion has the gall to be like, oh, you would rather be fucking Lawless? And Bronn rightly so, says, oh, really? Given the choice between having sex with Lawless and fighting the Mountain, you would do the first, like, immediately, without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you can't even come at me with that.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he tries the, like, oh, Gregor Clegane's injured. And he's, like, slow and stuff. Like I'm sure you can deal with him.
But also, obviously Bronn was just kind of playing along, but still, I was like, are we, like, do we know Gregor? He's like, oh, you know, like, if I can just, like, get him off his feet, like, you know,
yeah,
I
he's like, there's a way potential to do it.
I'm like, is there? This just felt really delusional.
No, but he's basically saying, even if there was a chance I could win, it's too much of a risk, and I'm not going to take it.
I know, but even saying that there could be a potential chance, like, I don't know. To me, that just still seems like, really? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Bronn was just trying to, like, really cement his argument. That's, like, even if that's the case, it doesn't make sense. Because even if he wins, he either dies or he loses, like, Stokeworth and all of that.
Yeah.
So either way, he loses. I do not blame him for not doing this, obviously. Yeah. But it does suck for Tyrion.
So let's say this... I mean, at the end of the chapter, it's... whatever. If it goes to trial by combat, and let's say Tyrion, like, is proven innocent, so is it kind of like he basically gets off with nothing since he was proven innocent? So, like, he would still be heir of Winterfell, technically, and, like, that sort of thing? Or is it, like, they can be like, oh, well, you don't get this because you did it. But since he's proven innocent, like, can they still use those arguments? Or I guess they could just lie and be like, oh...
I think his claim on Winterfell really depended on him having kids with Sansa, and since that's not a thing, that it's not going to be a thing. Like,
so,
unless... Like,
just because... So even if they didn't... So it's...
Yeah, because he doesn't have any direct claim on Winterfell other than through Sansa, and if Sansa's not there, then he doesn't have that claim.
But they're still married, right?
Yeah, but what's anybody, like, what are you gonna do with, oh, they're still married? Like, and also, they never consummated, so it's like a...
Right. It's still, like, kind of void.
If she marries anybody else and has kids with them, those kids are gonna be the heirs to Winterfell.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really not, I think it's just whether or not he lives or not.
Yeah.
And I think, who is it? Kevin, when he eventually comes to, like, convince him to... what's the word? Confess. He says, like, even if you win and are proven innocent, people out in the streets are still going to be mad at you and they might just tear you limb from limb. So it's really just like, if he proves himself innocent, then he'll live. And that's, like, pretty much it.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, even in the trial, you can really see, but it's like, they already hated him. They already, whenever he did something good, they were like, it was Cersei, it was Tywin. Whenever he did something bad, it was Tyrion. Whenever someone else did something bad, it was Tyrion. So they already hated him, and now they, like, got their justification to hate him. And it's just sad.
Yeah, so Bronn leaves, but, like, I like this little interaction at the very end. You know, Bronn hesitated at the door. What will you do? Kill Gregor myself. Won't that make for a jolly song? I hope I hear them sing it. I thought that was nice. I get it, Bronn. I don't blame you at all.
It was just sad. It was like the one person who'd been with him through all of it.
Yeah, and I think Podrick has been there this whole time just listening, but he's basically like, sorry, dude. And Tyrion's like, it's okay. Bronn's a black-hearted rogue, and that's why I liked him in the first place. So...
Yeah, he was like, maybe I could get him, maybe I could get Shagga or Timid or someone to come fight for me.
Yeah, okay, so Shagga is apparently in the Kingswood, and Timid has returned to the Mountains of the Moon. We know, like, some of the clans people have returned to the mountain, because Arya heard about it in her chapter.
Yeah.
But I thought Shagga would have also returned. I didn't realize he was still hanging around the Kingswood.
Yeah, why is... Lord knows.
Yeah, I don't know. That came as a surprise to me.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a little moment where Kevin says, like, oh yeah, like, we couldn't find Sansa. And he also says, like, oh, we couldn't find Dantos.
Who also vanished the same night, so they've definitely put that together.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know if I'm just, like, being naive, but can't we, like, make a case of, like, oh, they did this? Or is it because, like, Dantos, like, supposedly is a fool, so it's like that would never...
Right.
Like, so then Tyrion wouldn't, like, it wouldn't be like, oh, well, you're her husband, like, you should have known. Like, he can just say, like, oh, like, we barely talked, like, as you guys know, like, we didn't even have sex. Like, they could just lie and be like, she was having an affair with Dantos, that's why she saved him. Like, I feel like they could play that up.
Right, like, he could... see, you're saying they. It's really only Tyrion, and who else is he gonna get to back up that theory for him? That's the question.
True, he can't go out, but maybe like someone who knew Dantos, someone who'd seen them in the gods, but like just I feel like there could be someone.
Given the chance to go out
Tyrion
and find
goes,
that person.
You know what I also don't like is with the whole not being able to cross-examine is like, he can't be like, hey, you get back on the stand, let me ask you if you saw Sansa save Dantos that day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because all of those people saw it, all of his, like, Joffrey's Kingsguard people. They could all attest to that, but they wouldn't. So it's, I don't know, it's like there's no other option.
Yeah, it's not a fair trial. That's the... Exactly.
But I don't know. I feel like if they're gonna convict you with lies, then you get out of it with lies if you have to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like...
No, I think that would be a thing. Except they haven't left any way for Tyrion to make that a thing.
Yeah.
And it's still possible. Like, he could just still say that. Like, when it's like defense to make his final argument or something. He could say, oh, it was probably Sansa, but I didn't know because she was having an affair with Dantos. And, like, that's all he could do. Maybe that's what he will do. We don't know yet.
Yeah, because I feel like you could also...
But there aren't many ways for him to...
Yeah.
Yeah, and they apparently have, like, a thing where if there's, like, Varys is... testifying against him... But he can't call Varys as his own witness for this. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, similar to the cross-examining thing. It just doesn't make any sense.
Because I feel like if...
It's like Cersei's like, I call dibs on everyone.
Yeah, because maybe... Yeah, I just don't know. You know what would be insane? I don't know if this would work. I hadn't thought of this before. I don't know if this would... Okay, I'm just having this argument in my head instead of saying it out loud. Okay, so basically, my original thought was, okay, like, Shay, but two things. Okay, that is putting Shay, like, in so much, like, you know, it's like, okay, what
about Shay?
Like, it's like, if she comes...
Like, Tyrion gets Shay?
If Tyrion gets Shay, then...
Yeah.
But the issue with that is, okay, A, would she even do it? And B, because we know the whole thing of, like, does she love him? Does she not? But even if she loves him, that's, like, potentially putting her entire life in danger. Because it's, like, if she goes up there and they're like, who the fuck is this? You know? And then they look into it a little bit. And then if Varys gets called up, like he said, he's not going to lie for Tyrion. He specifically said he's not going to lie about shit. So it's, like... Yeah. But it's, like, I feel like she's the only person who could even be, like... Oh no, I don't think he did that.
Like, what if she cares for him for real, she might testify, but Tyrion may not want her to, given the risk it poses to her person.
So it's like, we're really at a dead end.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because even, like, Varys is very clearly on the other side. I don't know, part of me is like, the way... Okay, we'll talk about it when Varys comes up. We are getting caught. Okay, but anyway, yeah. I was hoping to play up the Dantos thing, but I guess there's hurdles to everything we try to do here. But yeah, so he basically has a sleepless night, because at this point we have no one, then the trial starts tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And he's having all these, like, bad dreams, because obviously he's about to die, so he's terrified. So then, it's the next day, and the trial starts. Sir Adam Marbrand comes to get him, and he's like, I'm literally a member of the royal family. Like, where's the Kingsguard? Why are you only here with gold cloaks? And he's like, yeah, but, like, they're all testifying against you, so we can't really have them protecting you.
Wait, okay, hang on. But Jaime doesn't testify against him.
Yeah.
Does Tyrion even know that Jaime is back?
I don't think he does, because I feel like it would have come up in his thoughts at some point. He would have been like, does Jaime think I'm not innocent?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And even Jaime, like, in his chapters, like, I've been hanging out in the back so nobody sees me. Okay, oh my god, Tyrion doesn't even know that
his brother is back. He could die without knowing his brother's back. Oh my god.
Yeah. So they go to the throne room where the trial is being held, and
question. So do they just do everything in the throne room? This was where the wedding feast was. This is where they do trials. Like, what are... So
I think it depends on the thing and also the crowd.
And, like, the severity of, like, how many people are going to come out.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like, a trial for regicide is important enough to be held in the throne room, you know?
Okay, fair. Okay.
Yeah, and also it's the largest room, and they can there's probably a bunch of spectators, and that's the place that can accommodate everybody, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets there and he's like, whoa, this is where Joffrey died.
And he's looking at his judges, and he's thinking about how Oberyn and Tyrell hate each other, so maybe he can use that against them somehow, like, to his advantage. But, okay, so then the trial begins with, like, how do you plead? And he's like, I plead innocent, or, like, I didn't kill the king. Yeah. And Oberyn Martell's like, oh, well, that's a relief. I liked his little commentary throughout this. It's so funny.
Oh my god.
They ask whether Sansa did it. He can't bring himself to condemn Sansa. It's sort of a sad, touching moment. He's like, whatever her part in this might have been, she remained his wife, and he had wrapped her in his cloak of protection. So, yeah, that was sad. So he tries to be like, yeah, he just choked on his pie. And
also, remember when you were like, oh, are you sure Tyrion didn't do it?
Well, are you still sure that Tyrion didn't do it?
Of course! Oh my god!
Hey, I have to do this. That is my job. If we had job descriptions, that would be like number one on the top.
Manipulate? Lie?
Yes. Yeah, those are the...
Divert attention from any logic whatsoever.
Those are the wanted qualities in this job.
Please. Whatever.
Yeah, what's my biggest strength? I would say that I'm a very good manipulator and
better get practicing.
And a cold-hearted bitch. Just, yeah. Okay. Anyway, Tyrion's trying to make a joke. He's talking. That's not allowed because they say in a fair trial. So,
oh my god.
First up, they bring Sir Balon Swan, who we find out, like, even in Jaime's chapter, he's like the only one that's kind of like
has a
legit.
Conscience?
Everybody, yeah,
could possibly have been appointed to the Kingsguard in a fair way. Yeah, could possibly have earned it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He starts with like, "Hey, I think Tyrion's a great dude. He fought well, and I don't believe he did this, but he did." Hit Joffrey the day of the riot. Like, he was mad because it was an intense situation, but like, he did do it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, so that's where the argument, like, the case starts. Then they bring in Meryn Trant to expand on exactly how Tyrion kicked Joffrey and shouted that it was just unjust that he had escaped unharmed from the mobs.
Oh my god.
And Tyrion's like, oh, I get it. She's gonna do this thing where she's gonna start like with somebody everybody knows to be honest and slowly build a case so that everybody tells something worse and worse until I'm basically the Mad King. Meryn Trant goes on to how like Tyrion interrupted Joffrey punishing Sansa and threatened me and Blunt and all of those people.
And then Blunt came up.
And does that same thing like, oh, yeah, he threatened me and he also threatened his grace and he's back on Cersei's side apparently, even though she had him dismissed from the Kingsguard at one point. But he's probably looking at his things like, whose side should I take? That would be beneficial, and he's chosen Cersei. Yeah. And this is where Tyrion tries to cross-examine him by being like, oh, really? Okay, why don't you tell everybody why I was doing it and what Joffrey was doing at the time? And, of course, Blunt doesn't answer to that, but Tywin is like, oh, shut up. You're not allowed to talk.
Oh, ugh. My Lanta.
Then the Kettleblacks come and talk about, like, the threats he'd made to Cersei about the, wait for a day when she's happy and make her joy turn to ashes in her mouth. And of course, none of them mentions the fact that Olyaya was whipped. Like, oh, that's just convenient. And then Osmond Kettleblack comes up, and and then this is where the straight up lies begin.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, the day Joffrey gave me my white cloak, that brave boy said to me, good Sir Osmond, guard me well, for my uncle loves me not. He means to be king in my place. Just like,
how? What? How would that
and
even,
obviously,
like, buddy, calm down.
And also, okay, so he said that and you did nothing with that information. Excuse you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tyrion yells out liar. Once again, he is shushed, and now he is threatened that they'll, like, chain him. Just, love that. And he has to try to, like, rein it in, which I'm like, no, like, you shouldn't have to rein it in. This isn't fair.
Yeah, no wonder people don't get out of their trials. They're literally not, like... What?
Yeah. So that's the end of trial day 1. Not infuriating in any sense whatsoever. He goes back to his room. At least he's given a decent room and can have all the wine he wants, because that's all, like, drink up before you die, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Basically, yeah. My God.
And he's thinking about Tysha, and he's like, yeah, well, that was a pretense, and I would rather take the sweet lies and not the bitter truths, just the whole thing of thing.
My only question, though, is why did Tyrion spill the wine? Like, he's smart enough to realize, like, or was he, like, did he realize him or Sansa was gonna get convicted anyway? Like, did he put the dots together that quickly? Or was it just, like, he wasn't thinking, but he's so smart? Like, I'm just so lost on
Maybe it was, like, one of those, like, smart decisions where he's like, somebody's probably gonna use this against me, let me get rid of it. Yeah. But then he didn't think about the fact that I already was watching him get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because now they don't really know whether it was the wine that was poisoned or the pie. Like, nobody knows.
Yeah.
But if it had been, like, the wine and they tested it
then
by
it
making some poor animal drink it or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Then for sure it was the wine, and then, like, for sure the only person to handle it was Tyrion. Then, like, bada bada boom. Like,
not the
case
bada bada
closed.
boom.
I don't know what.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sorry, I just thought of that. I was like, wait, why? No,
I think it was like a smart thing in the time, but also maybe he did it and he
No, he didn't. He absolutely didn't. You cannot play all the sides. Today you are on this side only.
I'm playing every side all the time.
Oh my God. Okay, little dice.
Next day, they bring... Oh yeah, hang on. Kevin comes in, and Tyrion asks him whether Varys will speak for him, and he doesn't get an answer on that yet, but it's trial day again. And they bring in a couple of maesters who did the autopsy and are like, hey, there was no food stuck down his throat, so he didn't choke, he was poisoned. It says no morsel of pigeon pie or any other food lodged in the royal throat. It's just such a...
That's so bizarre. The royal throat.
Yeah.
Please.
And then Pycelle comes in, and he's got this collection of poisons, like Grey Cap, Nightshade, Sweet Sleep, Demon Stance. And then he's got this Widow's Blood, which... this one is called Widow's Blood. This one is called, for the collar, a cruel potion. And apparently it makes you so constipated that you drown in your own inner gases.
Oh my God.
That's such a horrible way to go. That you're just like constipated for days, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, acid reflux. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh my God. Gross. Yeah.
I think I don't like this because it messes with like the food process. Like, I don't want anything messing with my food, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, if you're gonna poison me, do it quick. Like, don't make it last long.
Yeah.
Let me enjoy my last meal.
Yeah.
I want to taste that pigeon pie.
Okay, noted for when I poison you.
Okay. Somebody, please make note of that.
Oh my god.
For a future trial.
Please. Will I be allowed to speak?
Varys, little birds, note it down.
Will I be allowed to speak at my damn trial?
No.
Please.
You're already condemned.
It'll be in the style of Westeros.
Yeah. Okay, basically the whole thing is Pycelle's like, Tyrion stole all my poisons.
Okay, I didn't remember this.
Okay,
I thought it was
he
someone
stole
else who stole them.
No,
He only
hang
stole
on.
one?
He stole a particular very mild poison to give Cersei diarrhea so that she wouldn't be in court. That's what he did.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, so now they're making up, we found all of these in Tyrion's room.
Yeah. And they didn't find the culprit poison, the strangler it's called. Because apparently all of it was used to kill the noblest child the gods ever put on this good earth.
When he said that, I wanted to die. I was like, what did you just say? Like, I can't.
I want to imagine, like, even if people are like, oh, Tyrion did it, I want to imagine, like, the entire audience just rolling their eyes at that line because everybody also knew Joffrey.
Yeah, but I think also it's like people get weird when people die. They feel bad saying anything about the dead person.
Right, don't speak ill of the dead,
Yeah.
even if they were the illest of the ill while they lived. I don't know.
Yeah, so I feel like that effect would come into it, and it would be like a few people would be thinking it, but they could never, like, you know, even to, like, their own family. Because then, like, your mom would be like, don't say that about King Joffrey! You know?
Right. Oh, no. But, like, a rolling an eye is almost like a, like, it's a
Like a reflex vibe?
reflex, exactly. And if everybody's doing it, then nobody can see you doing it because everybody's rolling their eyes, so you're okay.
That's actually so funny.
I want to see a scene in a movie or something where an entire crowd of like 200 people simultaneously rolls their eyes.
That would be so fun. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and Tyrion is like, well, Joffrey was an idiot and cruel, but I didn't kill him. Just kill me if you like, but I didn't kill my nephew.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, silence. I have told you thrice you shall be gagged and chained. Or blah.
Oh my god.
Bullshit. Then comes the line of lords and ladies just being like, okay, so we heard him threaten the king. We saw him filling the chalice. And then this lady Merryweather, like, who? Why is the weather so merry? I don't even know.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be very merry about this. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, she swears that she saw Tyrion drop something into the king's wine while Joffrey and Marjorie were cutting the pie,
Queen.
Which is just a straight up lie.
Thanks,
like, that
Queen.
did not happen.
Thanks, Queen.
So is she, like, seeing things? Even Tyrion is like, is she seeing things? Is she blind or is she bought?
I don't even know. I don't know.
I think she's like one of the Tyrell's people, like Lord Banner people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So is she bought? Like, is she bought by Cersei or is she bought by the Tyrells? Because they also don't like Tyrion.
Yeah, if she is bought, I would say by the Tyrells, but I feel like it's almost just like, you know, it's just like the crowd effect. You're like, I'm gonna get some glory out of this too. I'm fighting for a cause.
My statement was the one that put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Put the nail in the ashes. Sorry.
Please.
That's a joke you will get at one point in time. I'm not going to say when.
What?
Just shut up.
Nail
it was
in
a
the
reference.
ashes?
Yes.
Is it for Ted Lasso?
No.
Okay, good to know.
I'm sorry. I literally stopped myself from making another reference earlier today. And it's so hard. It's just so hard. There's so many things to be referenced.
Oh my god. Okay, well then let's just watch it and get it over with.
I agree. Let's watch it. Hey, okay, people. Okay, interlude. I finally got Harmouth to watch the first season of Ted Lasso. Oh, wait. You know this. We watched the whole first season. Holy shit.
What do I know?
Okay. That joke. Because that's when... Spoilers. I think spoilers for like the second last or last episode, doesn't matter. But Jaime is doing that interview and he's shit talking Richmond.
Yeah.
And he says like something was like the nail in the ashes because he mixes up all his metaphors all the time.
That's me. I always do that too. Wait. Let me pull this up on my phone. I said something to my friend the other day, but I honestly think, people please vote on this. I think that my version was better than the real version. Let me find it. 1 second. Hold on.
Oh my god, I can reference things now. It's so nice.
You can speak freely, kind of. Please. Okay, wait.
1/3 freely.
1/3 freely. About one series.
And I'm trying to remember what my previous reference was that I'm like, wait, what was it? And maybe I can still make it. Oh yeah, no, I can't make it. Sorry.
Sad. Okay, that's sad.
I might still make it.
Do it. Is it actually going to spoil anything, or is this just you being
me?
I didn't say it. You did. Okay, I can't find it. This is so sad. Okay, well.
Okay.
It's not here.
We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Riveting audio.
Okay, wait. Just give me...
Tune in at 9/8 Central to the Nature Channel to see us debate.
Please.
What are we debating?
Lord knows.
The nature of the expression. Should it be updated? Which one is better?
Please. Okay.
Woo. Do 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 do.
I can't find it. Basically, I reinvented
wow,
an
lovely.
expression. I'm sorry. One day I will find it. Anyway, how did we get on this? Oh, the nail in the coffin. But basically, my point is that I do that all the time because I don't know what it is with expressions. Like, I think it's just my memory. Like, I know what I'm trying to say, and I try to use the idiom, and it just, like, comes out wrong, and it's a whole thing. So I relate to Jaime in that. And second thing, to get us back on track, or not, second thing. So, why is Jaime just the ultimate douchebag name? Like, Jaime, like, why? Anyway.
I don't know. We gotta look at all the Jamies in our life and see if it tracks.
I'm done. Well, the only Jamies I know are, like, girls who are, like, sweet. So, it doesn't work for me. Actually, JK,
I don't think I know any James.
Okay, this is weird. I know a James who goes by Jaime, which is really weird to me. I'm like, it's not any shorter. Like, that's an interesting nickname.
I think that is how Jaime developed, probably.
Like, just James as a nickname, and then people were like, I'm gonna name my kids that.
James was the name.
And then Jaime was the nickname? I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. Okay, we are way off track. Okay, so Lady Merryweather saw him put the poison, and then a bunch of other guys saw him spill the wine, which is the only, like, really true thing here. So, yeah, that is the end of that day of trial, I'm pretty sure, right? Kevin visits him again, and Varys has not come, and nor will he, because he is testifying against him. And
do we know for sure, though, that, like, if someone testifies for one person, they can't for another? Like, I thought that was more just like, oh, if I'm testifying for you, why would I want to testify the other way? Because I thought this was just more like,
I'm just taking it as, like, why isn't he, like, I would still like him as a witness? Like,
right.
Why isn't he
I think he's probably just like, okay, well, if he's on the other side, you know? Because I feel like after sitting through 2 days of everyone...
Yeah, but then he can also call the other guys up as witness and then, like, do the cross-examination that way. But it seems like you can... It doesn't seem like that's given as an option for him.
I don't know, because this also just, like, I don't know, because it also just feels like a morale thing. Like, if you sit through 2 days of everyone convicting you, like, at that point, are you really, like, hopeful and looking at every single way you can prove innocent? Or is it just, like, someone tells you, okay, this person can't, and you just accept it? Because nothing else has been going right.
Maybe.
You know? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll see more trials and figure it out. Or if anyone knows the laws of, like, trials here, pipe in, please.
Sure. Yeah. Either way, it's not a fair trial. So,
yeah. And then he's basically like,
Yeah,
you should just confess, because you ain't got no witnesses. Everyone's testifying against you, and your dad will let you take the black if you just give it all up now and just admit to it. And he's like...
Before that, Tyrion asks, like, you know, Kevin seems convinced of his guilt. Mm-hmm. And Tyrion's like, but why? Like, what convinced you? And Kevin is like, well, you stole those poisons, and also Lady Merryweather saw you do that. And she's like, no, she didn't do anything, but how am I going to prove that while I'm here? And there's just like no response to that part of it. Like,
he's like, well,
just like,
okay.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, well, just confess. Like, no acknowledgement that he heard him for. Yeah. What is the complaints procedure for this trial? Where's the appeal court? Who does he appeal to?
That's funny.
I can't. Okay, sorry. Okay, yes. Now, you should confess. Your father will let you take the black. And Tyrion is like, Cersei offered Ned Stark the same thing, and he lost a head. So I'm not gonna do that.
Please.
I forgot. You know, like, I know this, but I also forget that, like, the last thing he did was lie, and then he died.
So maybe the moral
like, he
of the
did
story...
it for his kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he was doing it. But it just really sucks. Like, if he had, like, been like, no, I didn't do it, and they killed him, then at least he never, like...
He never gave...
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
but
think
he was a better father for having confessed.
I was gonna say, it's still, like... He still did what he could, and he still made the better choice, you know? Because it would have... In that moment...
It just makes it sadder.
It does make it sadder, but it would have been selfish to just be like, well, no, I didn't do it, you know?
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah,
yes. Hopefully, like, Jon or people will, like, hear about or, like, understand the gravity of that, like him, like, putting aside his honor for the sake of his family and be like, you know what, maybe I also need to do that sometimes. Like, you know. But then they'll be like, well, he died anyway, so maybe I don't do that. So
no,
don't
stop.
know what lesson they'll learn.
No, there's a lesson that they should learn, and hopefully they go with it.
Yeah. So Kevin's like, yeah, the confession will get you forgiveness, but at least it'll put this matter to rest, and that's really what we want. And apparently Lord Tyrell is inclined to give Cersei your head, and Tyrion's like, great, one of my judges is already biased, which I'm like, who among these people is not biased? So there's the grandfather of the king, there's the father-in-law of the king, and then there's the guy who actively hates your family. Like, this is not an unbiased, fair jury. Like, nothing.
Basically.
So, anyway, this episode is an essay of why trials in Westeros are unfair.
Please. I'm dead.
That's just me citing all of my evidence.
Please.
Deal with it. Yeah, and he's trying to do the thing like, oh yeah, Kevin is like, yeah, even if you do win, the mob will kill you, so it's better to do this. And also, Tyrion's like, well, how do I know that Tywin's actually going to do this? He's going to get me to convince, and then he's going to get me to be dead anyway.
This was an interesting little monologue. Yeah, this was like...
Exactly.
Whoa, like, because... I don't know if we've seen...
Daddy issues.
I'm dead. I don't know if we've seen such brother loyalty at all in Westeros. And to find it in the
at least not like a brother who doesn't want to have sex with their sibling loyalty.
Yeah, that's a little different. I wouldn't...
Though we don't know that for a fact. Kevin Tywin shippers anyone.
Oh my god, literally stop. That was, I hate this so much. When he was like, you love him, he was my brother. It was giving such Cersei Jaime, like those two lines. And then I was like, Harmit, you have been, like, your mind has been spoiled.
No, people can love their siblings in a sibling way. This is just a fucked up
but because
world.
It's the Lannisters, that was my first thought. Just because it was the Lannisters. So I can't even condemn you for making that joke, because I thought the exact same thing. Not like thought, but it crossed my mind.
Tywin did marry his cousin, so.
Yeah, but like, I feel like in
that's
this
not
world,
incest in this world,
this
yeah.
world, cousin is like, you know, continents apart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was like a really like, I don't know, it was weird to see like a super heartfelt thing from a Lannister. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, so let's get into the heartfelt thing. So, you know what? I kind of want to read this whole monologue.
Read it. It's good.
Yeah. Hang on, let me take a sip.
Okay. Dramatic reading.
So I'm going to start. Like, okay. Do you think he would allow you to take the Black if you were not his own blood and Joanna's? Tywin seems a hard man to you, I know, but he is no harder than he has had to be. Our own father was gentle and amiable, but so weak his bannermen mocked him in their cups. Some saw fit to defy him openly. Other lords borrowed our gold and never troubled to repay it. At court, they japed of toothless lions. Even his mistress stole from him, a woman scarcely a step above a whore, and she helped herself to my mother's jewels. It fell to Tywin to restore House Lannister to its proper place, just as it fell to him to rule this realm when he was no more than 20. And then he just goes on to, like, how he took responsibility for the kingdoms for 20 years and that kind of thing. But, okay, interesting things. First off, incompetent father. Like, that kind of explains where Tywin's obsession with, like, Lannister.
Yeah, Lannisters
like,
must prevail.
Honor and, like, yeah, like, Lannister.
Always pays his
not
debts.
honor, but, like.
And, like, revenge and uphold our, like, standard and, like, dignity
exactly.
and everything, yeah.
Yeah, that thing comes from. And also explains, like, how when Tywin took over, he was like, anybody who defies me, I'm gonna rain the Castabeers the fuck out of you. Like,
yeah, it was like he went the opposite extreme.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a great reaction, but I'm just saying this is how it
happened. This is why Tywin is the way he is. Yeah.
And okay, so apparently their dad had a mistress.
Yeah. What? Didn't he like love Joanna? Wasn't it like
no. Their dad, like Tywin's dad, had a mistress.
Oh, oops. Brain was not braining. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what?
Yeah, so he had a mistress, and like she clearly didn't like I don't know, like she wasn't acting as Tywin would want her to act, or Kevin or whatever, right? And it doesn't seem like I the whole like helped herself to my mother's jewels things. I can get why Kevin's like upset by that. It's also kind of explains why he really hates the fact that Tyrion goes to sex workers. Yeah, because he's like, my dad brought us shame through that thing, and I can't let you do that thing too. Although I also just think he's always looking for ways to criticize Tyrion, and that's just one of them. So,
but I don't know, I also like, I was just wondering the whole of like, his mistress stole from him, a woman scarcely one step above her, and he helps us from mother's jewels. Like, that line also, like, because you know how some people just like hate people. So like, what if like the dad like gave her the jewels and like that sort of thing?
Yeah,
like I feel like
that's totally possible.
And like they're just like, oh, she helped her, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's just like they just hate her so much that it could be anything. But like I get it, because you're like, that was literally my mom and this is the woman you're having an affair with, but still,
the way it's phrased here is definitely
very loaded, very loaded.
Yeah.
But you know,
anyway, he gave the Seven Kingdoms peace, plenty, and justice. He is a just man. You would be wise to trust him. And Tyrion's like, whoa. I never knew any of this.
Yeah. He's like, I've never seen my uncle be so passionate and not just like dry and like righteous. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. You love him. He is my brother.
Okay, you know, this also makes sense to me because Tywin is so like, with Kevin, like, and like his kids and everything, he's like, you can tell he does care for Kevin too. So I feel like the whole thing like really cemented like their bond too. Because I feel like he does respect Kevin in a way that I like wouldn't expect him to respect a sibling. No offense.
Right.
So
yeah, no,
this kind of makes sense.
he's got that family loyalty down for sure.
Yeah.
Just not when it comes to condemning your kids to death or the wall. But also, his whole like thing is, oh, I want to make sure like the Lannisters are a dignified house and everybody respects and fears us. And then he's got these kids that are just fucking everything up, though. Like, I'm not saying he's great, but like 2 of his kids are having sex and having babies. And like the whole realm knows now.
Yeah.
And whether or not he admits to it, it's a thing. And it's just like basically the Lannisters are a joke. Like we were just joking about them all having incest.
Yeah. And like his 3rd kid's now on trial.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's that's like, not
yeah. Just like, oh my God, another thing. Like I could see his frustration. Yeah. I could see that, but I also want him to give Tyrion a fair trial. Yeah. So, like...
And I also think, like, it's not like he raised his kids too well anyway. Like, oh, yeah. So, it's like a weird...
Well, he was too busy running the kingdom.
Yeah, but also my question with that is, like, why are we kind of, like, Stannis coding him? Like, didn't he, like, want the kingdom?
Why? Sorry, hang on. Oh, yes, bore the heavy burden for 20 years. Yes, I think that's Kevin's, like, rose-eyed view.
I know, it's like, Kevin, no, like, he wanted that. He, like, you know, it's just, like, a weird way to think of it. I don't know.
I think, okay, well, all it earned him was a Mad King's envy. I think that's the key part is here. Like, he enjoyed his 20 years, but, like, at the end, he was dismissed, and that's what he's bitter about, you know?
No, like, that's
and he's
fair.
Like, I did this for you for 20 years, and now you're gonna just dismiss me?
Yeah, and you literally couldn't do anything as soon as I left. You ran through people, like, within seconds, and you still can't admit that, No, like, I get it. It was just, like, a little, like... No, but, like, he wanted to do that. Like, what do you mean?
Status coding.
That's what it is. Like, oh, I bore the heavy burden. Okay, but, like, you literally put on the backpack. Like, come on. I don't know why it's a backpack. I think I'm uni-coded right now.
No, it makes sense. Okay, sorry. Let's try to get back to this. So, Tyrion is kind of, like, moved by this speech. And he's like, I'll think about it. And he's thinking about it. But he's like, what, I didn't do this thing, but they'll call me Kinslayer till the end of my days.
That's
and
my fucking
I'll
legacy.
Be remembered as this horrible person, and I don't want that.
And I think also, if he goes to the wall with that, it's like, that's not going to earn him anything at the wall either. You know what I mean? Like, you killed your own freaking nephew and, like, all that. So it's like, it's really
Although Jon might be like, hey, thanks for taking revenge for my dad.
True, I didn't even think of that.
But also, holy shit, I didn't even think about this. All those people that Tyrion himself sent to the wall, like that, what's his face
Janos.
guy? Janos Slynt, yeah.
Yeah, but, like,
and he didn't
they
treat,
might all be dead now anyway, so...
Alistair Thorne that well. So, like, yeah, they might be dead anyway, but, like, imagine him having
Thorne's,
to
like,
contend
in
with
the
them.
Freaking dungeons. But I guess people would be like, oh, you're the reason.
No, Alistair Thorne is not in the dungeons.
Isn't he?
No, he is not. He was sent to King's Landing, and then he returned with recruits, including Janos Slynt. And we don't know where exactly they are right now. Like, they probably got to the wall, but they haven't shown up at Castle Black yet. Okay,
cool. Oh, I thought he was like, oh, damn. So when Alistair finds out that Jon's in charge, that's so funny. That's really funny.
Glad you think it's funny. Glad you have a sense of humor left. So, next day of trial, Varys is the prime, not suspect, prime witness.
Also, question. Because if the only my only thing with Tywin letting Tyrion take the black is also like, doesn't that kind of make Tywin look weak? Because it's like with anyone else
let's talk about that. Do you think that Tywin will actually let Tyrion take the black, or is this just a trick to get him to confess?
See, I do think that Kevin's being sincere, and I do.
But Kevin may not know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I do think that Kevin is being sincere. But with the whole thing with Tywin is like, that would make him look weak, right? Because it's like, his kid, like, because everyone thinks that Tyrion did it. Unless we can get someone else, Tyrion did it, right? And trial by combat doesn't get rid of everyone's suspicions and everyone's beliefs that he actually did it, you know, even though it's like, oh, the gods choose, you know? But, so it's one of those things where it just makes it look like, oh, he just didn't kill him because it was his kid. So doesn't that, like, so why would Tywin do that if the biggest thing that he cares about is his reputation and legacy, and that's another freaking thing on it? Because wouldn't the best way to end it...
I agree with you. I tend to align with he was gonna get Tyrion killed anyway.
Yeah.
And this was just a ploy to not waste more time on the trial.
Yeah, I don't know, but at the same time, like, I wanna, you know, I do think, like I said, I always try to get these people a redemption, so part of me wants to be like, he wouldn't just, like, kill his son, but also he turns a blind eye to a lot of things.
But that would, like, but okay, maybe, no, hang on, if he takes the black, he can't be an heir anyway, and he was like, you're not my heir anyway, so...
Yeah.
But maybe, hang on, I just thought of something. Sending Tyrion to the wall, Jaime loves Tyrion. That may bring, like, you know, be like...
Yeah, but he's completely said, you're not my son. I don't see him going back on
but
that.
I don't think he's like, oh yeah, that's for sure. I think he's definitely willing to take that back. And this will put him in Jaime's good graces, kind of. Like if he kills Tyrion, then Jaime's like, fuck you, Dad, for sure.
But that's if Jaime believes that Tyrion is innocent, which I do think he does, but that's still an if.
Right. Yeah, that is an if, but I'm just trying to think of
like why he
reasons
would.
Why he
that's
would.
That's a really good reason. I feel like that's kind of the only reason that would make sense here.
Yeah,
because Jaime's a big loss, right? So that's... If we can get Jaime back, then who cares?
Because Tywin does not have no heir. Like, Cersei's his heir, and then I guess would Tommen also be the heir to...
I don't know.
Castaway Rock.
Yeah, I
guess he could.
About this before, and we were confused.
I think there was like a whole thing on Discord where people were like, "Oh, they can actually hold things, but traditionally they don't because it's like a whole mess."
Yeah. So like Tommen could just like put it on hold for his kids' vibe. Yeah. But I think Tywin would rather have like, you know, like his own son rather than like grandson.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, because then it's Tommen Baratheon, not Tommen Lannister, even though that's what he is. Yes, for sure. Okay, so Varys, he has this whole... He's got receipts. Like,
this was
so
wild.
Many receipts.
Don't ever say anything to Varys, basically.
Yeah, or ever. Like, you don't have to say it to him. Yeah, he's got records from his little birds. Yeah. And he talks about how Tyrion had schemed to part Joffrey from the Hound, and how Bronn was talking about the benefits of having Tommen as king, which we know Tyrion totally dismissed. And Varys has got, like, unlike anybody else, he's got documents painstakingly filled with notes, details, dates, and whole conversations. So much material that it takes all day to get through it all. But also, I'm like, okay, so it's got whole conversations. So say one of the conversations is, it literally says the thing confirms that the threat he made to Cersei. Say that's conversations read out loud. How doesn't the thing with Elia come up? How doesn't the thing with Joffrey torturing Sansa come up? Like, all those things.
Yeah, but all of these documents are written by him. He can just write whatever he wants.
Right. That's true. I just saw that, like, Tyrion doesn't comment on the fact that those things are left out.
Yeah. I think, like, by this point, it's like, he knows that people are gonna leave shit out, and he knows that, like, if Varys wasn't...
So that whole, like, he's just, the morale is down, so he's not really... I also
think, like, if Varys had... I think it's one of those things where as soon as Varys didn't even show up to even just talk to him, I think he knew.
He was like, he's gonna do it against me no matter what.
Because I feel like if Varys was gonna be like super truthful about this and not manipulate anything, then he would have at least had the decency to go to Tyrion when he wanted him to.
I don't know. I felt, I guess I was like delusional, but like I really wanted Varys to be on Tyrion's side. Like even though he's testifying against him, to present both sides of the argument, but he's probably saving his hide like in count of Cersei and her whole thing. And I think it's also Varys. And he doesn't bring up Shay.
I was gonna say, so I think it's like this is the only way that he can kind of save him without like, because I feel like it's also like
so he can omit information, but he can't add true information.
Because I feel like it's also like he's very much on like, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's gone. It's gone. But fine. I think it was just he's very like purposeful with everything that he does, so it makes sense that he was like, okay, that's just gonna stir up more shit. And I think it's also like all of this stuff was gonna be confirmed with or without him, so he may as well be on the winning side and like,
right? Yeah, no, I think I agree with that. Yeah, he's looking at the odds and he's like, well, I'm probably gonna have to deal with Cersei a lot longer, so let me just do the thing that'll make her happy. So his accounts basically confirm everything except the poisoning itself. And the way he knows this is his little birds, whatever. And Tyrion's like, oh my god, damn him and damn me for putting all the trust in him and all that. But I'm like, Tyrion, you're not thinking about the fact that he didn't talk about Shay, and he totally could have. So anyway. Okay, so that's because that takes all day. They have to do one more day of trial, and Cersei's like, I have one final witness before you. And and Tyrion's like, great, let's get this farce of a trial over with. Okay, so who do you think her last witness is?
I didn't even think about this. I don't know. Like, who's left? Who hates Tyrion that much that she would want them? Because
it's like the grand.
Exactly. And especially
what is it called? Showstopper.
Yeah. And especially over Varys, who could bring out more than Varys?
Condemning evidence, yeah.
You know, part of me thinks, like, what if she gets, like, Jaime or something? But she hasn't even talked to Jaime.
Doesn't think about it at all in his...
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of, like, who would, like, be show-stopping. Do you know what I mean? And, like, his own brother would be pretty show-stopping. Maybe she wants to call herself to the stand. Well, I don't know if that's allowed if she's the lawyer, but also this isn't very true to... I don't know.
No, like, okay, so, we can allow all those possibilities, so it could be Cersei herself.
Cersei, Tywin.
But then she doesn't say, like, I will testify tomorrow. She says, I will bring one.
Yeah, but maybe she's trying to be dramatic. It's Cersei.
That's true.
Maybe it's Tywin or something.
Give me other
Tywin.
Tywin. I don't think he can testify in a trial that he is.
He's Tywin.
Yeah, but then the way she's like, oh, hey, Dad, I'm going to bring a witness tomorrow. I feel like he would know if he was a witness.
Okay, fine. What if she... Because obviously all the witnesses have to know and be prepped beforehand. I literally don't know. Because literally who is left? Other than, like... She could bring... No, I was like, she could bring Tom in or something, but that one... Maybe she could bring... I don't know! I'm just trying to think of people who are close to the family where it would be, like, a show-stopping moment. Maybe, like... What's her face? Like Marjorie or something? Or question. Has Tyrion butted heads with any of the Tyrells? Like Loras or the grandma or something that hate... Like, I don't think they've interacted really, right?
Yeah, I don't think really directly.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I honestly...
Just like a general, like, oh, you're the imp kind of thing, but not like a... In fact, there's one of the... Oh, shit! One of those Tyrells that was being nice to him at the wedding feast.
We could get
that should be his witness.
Because he could be like, he was literally with me the entire time and he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That would be good.
Garland? Was that Garland?
I think it was.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Tyrion, we just came up with a witness for you.
We should be his prosecution, or not prosecution, defense.
We would be so good at this.
We literally would. Like, come on. We've given...
Except I would be like, but did he?
Yeah, you would. I can't. Whatever.
I'm joking. I wouldn't do it if it was a real trial.
Uh-huh.
Okay, wait, hang on. No, we were thinking of people who can testify against him, and instead we thought of people who can testify for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could get... Because I'm trying to think of, like, who would be show-stopping. The only thing I can think of is literally Jaime. Like, maybe Cersei's just assuming if she asks him, he'll just do it.
But Jaime wasn't even there. Like, what's he gonna testify to? Jaime literally hasn't seen Tyrion since, like, chapter 7 of book 1.
Okay, true. Oh my god, that was a long time ago. That was 3 years ago for us.
Yeah.
I literally have no idea. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know who it could be.
Give me one wild guess. Just like
okay,
the chamber pot cleaning guy, like something.
Okay. Like Aliaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why she would testify against him.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm trying to find people where it would be
no,
like
I like it though.
jaw-dropping.
I like it. I like the fact that you have thought of something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not I can't do anything with that. Okay, now on to the next thing. Okay, so he goes to his cell. Oberyn comes to visit.
This was shocking. This was show-stopping. These last 4 pages took me so long to read because I was trying to understand what was happening. I was so lost.
It's dense. Oh my god, we've been talking about this chapter for over an hour.
We haven't even gotten to Oberyn.
Okay, let's do it. So Oberyn comes in. Did you poison him? No. Did you? I like that bit.
This was nice. I was like, me and Tyrion are on the same page. Slay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they're drinking Arbor wine in this
right before someone's about to die.
And do you remember that random... Oh, no. The theory is that when this happens, somebody is lying in the conversation.
Oh, I thought it was...
And the only instance that I noticed of lying is when Tyrion's like, no, my dad didn't give the order, so I don't know.
I think Oberyn's lying. I still think it could be him, so maybe that's the lie.
Anyway, so he talks about how he went to Chataya's and met Aliaya. Exquisite, despite the stripes on her back, which is significant because those stripes are due to the whipping. And I wonder if he asked and she told, and this is like
that's why he kind of believes him his side a little bit. Yep.
Right. Yeah. And Cersei, on the other hand, has been trying to seduce him and even offered a potential marriage with him as long as Oberyn, like, for sure condemns Tyrion.
Insane.
Yeah, and then Oberyn goes into this whole history of, like, the young dragon conquered Dorne, but then when his guy was touring the place, we killed him with a bunch of, what was it? Scorpions. 100 red scorpions that fell upon him on his bed, and he's like, I would rather have those scorpions than Cersei.
Oh my, that was a very long-winded way to say that.
Exactly.
He's like some sort of history teacher. He's like, oh, enmity goes back so far with the Tyrells.
But and then he's like, well, I'm glad you were accused, because if not for Cersei's accusation for you, I might be the one being judged and you the one judging.
Valid.
Because he's a total prime suspect. And we still don't know if he did it. Like, he totally could have. Like,
I don't know.
He does say no, but I don't know.
I'm so confused. Because I don't know. It's a whole thing. I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, he has many reasons. Like,
he brings them up himself.
Yeah, he's like, well, I know all the poisons. I don't like the Tyrells. And
okay, so
also,
why is his name Red Viper? Does he, like, poison people? Is that something he's known for?
Yes.
Oh, he poisons people?
We heard about him. Apparently, he's known for poisoning his blades while he fights, so that even if he loses the fight, people die.
Wait.
We knew this. Apparently,
put that together.
That's like when Tyrion's like thinking about his reputation, and that's like his reputation, and also the fact that he loves to have sex with people and like just travel the world and be that whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Another reason he may have motive to kill Joffrey is that according to Dornish law, the Iron Throne should pass to Marcella next. And if that happens, then the Dornish gain a lot more power because she is betrothed to one of his nephews. So that's like a new thing. I don't know if we knew it. I feel like we knew that the Dornish like don't care about gender, but I don't think we ever realized that could apply potentially here.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, Tywin's probably going to crown Tommen, but that doesn't mean that my brother can't crown Marcella down at Sunspear, and then we might have a little war for ourselves to figure out who's going to win. And I wonder who Cersei will support.
Oh my god.
And Tyrion has this moment where he's like, oh my god, yeah, she has always hated the fact that she isn't heir to Castle Rock, even though she was born before Jaime. And he's like, I don't know, she might support Tommen or she might support I was gonna say Marcella. and Tyrion's like, yeah, besides, it doesn't matter. It's not like my dad's gonna give her a choice. And Oberyn is like, well, your father may not live forever.
Oh my god.
He just says that shit out there. I just love him.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, yeah, well, it's not treason to state facts. People die. Well, Armor Gullus, my dude.
Yeah. Throwback.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so then he's like, yeah, Tyrell hates you because Marjorie was also drinking from that chalice and she might have died and he does not like that. And Tyrion's like, okay, so if he believes I'm guilty, what do you believe? Men are seldom as they appear. You look so very guilty that I am convinced of your innocence.
Please. Make that defense in court.
Yeah, and he's like, well, it could have been, it's not like there's any justice served here. Perhaps Joffrey's real killer was eaten by a bear. That seems to happen quite often around these parts. And that's in reference to the fact that they're pinning the Elia and her kid's death on Amory Lorch, who was killed by a bear at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
So that like took me a second to be like, wait, what is he talking about? Like I had to reread that.
Yeah.
And, oh right, Amory Lorch, bear.
I thought he was also
Brienne found his bones.
Okay, I saw that, but I also thought it was like in reference to like Robert. So it could be like, oh, like y'all. But just Robert get rid of
wasn't
people.
Eaten by a bear. No, I think this was specifically I came for justice and you gave me a bear. And maybe Joffrey was given, you know?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just thought it was both.
It could be, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, Tyrion's like, I'm not lying, and he says it was Gregor Clegane who killed the prince and Elia, and he like says the whole thing, and then Oberyn's like, whoa, a Lannister telling a truth? What?
Please.
Just like, yeah, and then he's like, well, and then your father gave the command, right?
No.
He spoke the lie without hesitation and never stopped to ask himself why he should.
Damn. He's so loyal.
Yeah, it hurt my heart because his dad's literally condemning him to the death or wall, and he's like, no, I can't do bad things to him. Like,
daddy issues.
I literally have to take off my hat because I'm so like heated from this conversation.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that's sad. And then, like, even, you know, Oberyn's like such a dutiful son. Yeah, Tyrion's like, go talk to my dad. Like, he maybe he can give you answers.
Oh my god.
And Oberyn's like, okay, yeah, but you're the one who's here now, and I think you're innocent, and I think I might be able to help you somehow. And Tyrion's like, well, you're one of 3 judges. How are you going to overrule everybody else? And he's like, not as a judge. I'm going to help you as your champion.
What? This broke me. I'm so confused.
In a good way?
I don't know. I just fully was like, Red Viper killed him. Done. And this man is... So, like, okay, I have so many thoughts. Look at my page.
Okay. Oh, nice. Is that like the page from your notes from the Red Wedding that I have definitely seen?
It's fine. No, the Red Wedding one was boring. This one's like, I have so many different... There's 4 different colors on this page.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, would love for those notes to be shared with myself and the world.
I'll share these ones. The Red Wedding ones, like, aren't worth it. That's why you don't have them.
Okay, at least we got your recording after the Red Wedding.
That's
so
what I mean. It's like, that was so much more valuable.
Yeah, but you said I'll share it, and then you didn't keep your word.
Yeah, because they were bad.
What kind of a Lannister are you?
No, because they were bad. I'm not going to put out bad content.
You never said they're bad. You said I'll send them later.
Well,
and you kept saying that.
Like, then I actually, like, literally looked at them, and I was like, wait, that's not happening. Anyway.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, these ones I will send you.
Okay, now
okay,
share them with me.
There's so much. I'm trying to figure out where I should start. Okay, first thing. I was so sure that Red Viper was still somehow involved, but now I'm, like, not so sure, because A, like he said, he would be the next suspect if the whole Tyrion thing hadn't happened. Like, we all knew he wasn't here for happiness and joyous, like, on a joyous occasion, you know? The unity of Tyrell and Lannister. Like, that's not what he was, or Baratheon.
But maybe the fact that he fights for Tyrion would be in his favor.
Yeah, I just think, like, yes, but it's also just, like, why would he draw attention to himself in this way if he'd done it? Like,
okay,
you know?
To give me the reason why he's doing this. There's one reason, and one reason only.
What? Okay, like... Okay, that is very distracting. Okay.
Sorry, I'm making random hand gestures, trying to get Harmit to pluck out the right reason.
Oh, that's what you're doing! I was so confused. I was like, is this a stim? Like, I don't know what's happening.
It started as a stim, but then
you made
turned it into, like...
You plucked meaning out of thin air, like I'm supposed to pluck out the reason out of thin air? Okay, because basically, okay. So, A, if he does this, he gets to fight Gregor, and if he poisons his sword, like he always does, then he can fucking kill Gregor, right? So that's one. So, like, yes, that makes sense to me for why he'd want to do it. But it's also just, like, I think I just didn't realize, like, how intensely on the side of revenge he was, rather than, like, the power side. Because if he just goes along with it, and Cersei marries him, and then he can pull the Marcella ploy, but I guess that's still a what if.
Yeah, he's not the long-term player.
Yeah, like, he's very much, like...
Right now, what am I gonna do?
I think yeah, so, like, I understand the Gregor thing, like, that makes sense, but I think just with everything else, I think I'm just so used to everyone in these books being political, that it was interesting to have someone who's like, no, I just want to kill the dude. So that makes sense to me, like, he wants to just kill Gregor and, like, go off, do your thing. But I think... Yeah,
this is his best opportunity to do it in, like, a legal way.
And then eventually he can... Because, you know, the whole thing of, like, oh, Tywin might die... So, I don't know if he's, I don't know, thinking of, like, the long term, like, is he hoping, like, oh, if I save Tyrion, he'll owe me? And not that, like, Tyrion's gonna kill his own dad, but, like, maybe it's also, like, a Lannister owes me. So even if I'm not married to Cersei, like, it's just... And also, I think it's also, like...
I feel like at that point, Tyrion would be indebted to him to the extent that he would have to be like, yeah, my dad did kill him.
Right, yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
give
yeah.
the order. Like if this guy saves
Yeah.
your life in that
Yeah,
way.
oh, totally. But I think it's also like Tyrion was also the one who set up the whole Marcella thing. So he's responsible for
Right.
all of this. So I think
Right.
not that,
Maybe he could be like, oh my God, sorry.
Yeah.
But this whole thing is like happening in my
Yeah.
brain where I'm like, okay, he wins. And then he said, because Tyrion is condemned in King's Landing no matter what, but then he takes Tyrion back with him to Sunspear, and then they have a whole plot there
Yeah.
with Marcella and
Yeah.
that thing. Oh, okay.
So-
Sorry, I just wrote a book.
So yeah, like I was thinking about that too. Like I feel like there's just so much he can do if Tyrion owes him, because it's also like the thing of like, and it's a very good ploy because it's like he's the only one on Tyrion's side. So if they get through, it's kind of the same thing as like Bronn in the Vale, where it was like he was the only one who got Tyrion through that. So Tyrion, no matter what he wanted to do, like, you know, it was like he had to promise something big. So I feel like it's that, and then Gregor, and yeah, but it
Yeah.
still shocked my brain when it
Ding,
happened.
ding, ding.
Oh, Slay. Okay.
Yeah.
It still shocked my brain when it happened, because I was still like, what? You know? Because I was just so far down the path of he must have done it. Viper, duh. I don't know.
Do you think they're still gonna have like the witness the next day, or is he just gonna be like, I'm actually doing a trial by combat? And
I think he might get. I think it might be the witness, just because I think the trial by combat
for the drama.
and I think the trial by combat, like, I don't know how it works, but to me it would make sense that, like, if you're demanding a change, if they won't even let you speak during other people's section, I don't think he's going to be able to chime in and be like, actually change of plans. I think he would have to wait until it's his turn to speak to demand that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I think we'll get the witness, and the witness will probably be damning, because it'll be like someone from the Lannister family or something. And then it'll be like, okay, even if I wanted to try and defend my case, I really can't. So, yeah.
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 This is the appeals process, I guess. I'm gonna appeal to the gods.
Yeah.
Humans have failed me.
Mhm.
Okay.
And also, maybe,
Viper.
like, technically, okay, so we know that, like, Tommen is Tywin's heir, but let's say none of this had happened. Can Tywin just say, like, oh, Tommen's my heir? Or would it technically have to be Tyrion? Since Jaime's
I think he's pretty much already decided that Tyrion is not my heir.
Okay, so, like, that wouldn't happen anyway? Okay. 'Cause... Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So, the Mountain and the Red Viper fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins? Does Tyrion live to see the next day?
Tyrion's gonna live.
Okay. Does that mean he wins?
Yes.
And what then?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, can he ever leave his house again? I don't know, man. Like, I really don't know. Like, what do you do? I guess, like...
I don't
'Cause
know.
no
It's
matter-
not like I proposed a really good plan or anything.
What was your plan?
He goes to Dorne.
Oh, wait! Yeah. Yeah, but I just wonder, like, my thing with that is just, like, can he?
Can't he?
Like, can't Tywin just be like, you can't plot with him? And, like...
Oh, no. He's not going to be like, I'm going to Dorne to plot. He's going to be like, I'm going to Dorne because I need a vacation from this horrible city.
But Tywin's not dumb. Like, he fought for him, and now he's going with him. Like, I just don't
Maybe
see
he
him...
sneaks out.
I just don't see them letting that happen. Because I don't think Tywin... Like, yet...
Okay.
Like, yes, Tyrion is loyal to his family.
Maybe the Red Viper can, like, use his influence.
Yeah,
Because he
maybe.
is on the council, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. So I guess that could happen, but I think Tywin would just give him, like, a lower position or something just to get him to not do that. Be like, oh, your duty requires you to stay here. You know?
Okay.
Because I just don't see him
Because
letting
nothing
his...
good could ever happen.
No, yeah, I don't let him see... Tywin, of all people, letting his kid go plot with someone. Because at the end of the day, that's a Lannister. You can't, you know, like, that would make you look terrible.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna run through an hour and a half later. Whether there's anything else to predict on.
I think we're good.
I think so too, but this is a very important chapter and I don't want to miss anything.
That's fair. This was a fun hour and a half long discussion. Like, that has me hyped up.
Yeah, sometimes we like talk on, and by the end of it, I'm bored out of my own mind.
No,
like,
but now I'm the opposite. I'm so energized. I'm like, creating theories about people that don't exist is so fun.
Ooh, Bronn. Is he going to kill her sister and then take over Stokeworth?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's Bronn.
Lord Bronn Stokeworth.
If he thinks he can take on Gregor, some random sister is possible. Hey, sisters. Sorry. I don't know where that came from. Also, every time we record, we usually read like 30-ish pages, and every time I just like see my 2 bookmarks, because I have a bookmark at the start of where we start reading and at the end where we stop reading, and it's always like I can see us working through it in chunks, and it's so exciting.
Yeah. We're after this chapter, we're like done 78%, and I'll tell you what we're done after Jaime's chapter.
Whoa.
Nobody brought up Sansa in the trial.
This was very weird. I don't know. I guess they're like so focused on condemning Tyrion.
Sansa the secret?
No, she's not. No, she's not. If that happens,
watch it be Littlefinger though, because he would definitely
literally
that kind of shit.
That would be so funny. That would be not in like a
funny,
funny like terrible want to cry my eyes out way. Yeah, no, that would be not fun.
Okay. So, Jaime is standing in the White Tower, in the White Room, reading the White Book at the White Table.
Sorry.
Yeah. Basically. He has moved his stuff from one of the
this room is way
rooms.
too white. Like, what if I, like, spill something?
Then you gotta clean it up.
How?
They wear all white.
Oh my
you
God.
would never be a Kingsguard.
That's the reason I would never be a Kingsguard.
Yes. But yeah, he has officially now taken over like the Lord Commander's
quarters.
Not cell. What is it? Quarters. Yes, thank you. Apartments. But currently he is in the bottom, like main floor, waiting for this meeting to start. And he's like, "Oh my God, these clothes don't fit me anymore. I've lost so much weight, and I'm just old now." And also, I don't have a hand, so my sword is on the wrong hip, and it feels wrong, and it's just this whole thing. And he thinks about how he had spent his days at Tyrion's trial, standing at the back of the hall, where very few people recognized him, and he doesn't think that Tyrion even knows that he's there.
I'm a stranger in my own house.
Yeah, his son is dead, his father has disowned him, and his sister has not allowed her to be alone with her since that day in the Sept, which I will just say kind of lends to my theory, which is that she was not pleased with the situation and was just doing it to get it over with. I know there's like all sorts of conversation on that, but we're gonna move on. There's a little quick mention of Sir Duncan the Tall.
This was beautiful. Okay,
Right?
I forgot that he was like Lord Commander, and now I'm excited.
I literally told you that the first time we read that story.
I know that, but I forgot.
But you just forgot.
That was literally
and this,
years
I think,
ago.
is the first in-text like confirmation of it.
Exactly. You think I remember things from 2 years ago?
Yeah, but we also talked about it like a few months ago when we read the second story.
Was that a few months ago? I feel like that was a lot
Whenever
longer.
it was. Okay, it doesn't matter. So, he's talking about the table. It's in the shape of a shield, and that's cool.
These people have cool tables.
Yeah. And he's looking at the Book of the Brothers, or as they call it, the White Book. And it's a history of basically every Kingsguard, and everybody gets their own page, and then at the top of the page, it's their sigil that they bore before becoming Kingsguard, and at the bottom, it's the sigil of the Kingsguard. And it has not been updated since Barristan left, so there's a lot to catch up on. People dying, people leaving, people being added, all that. And he reads through Barristan Selmy's account, and this is real impressive.
Yeah.
I won't read it, but basically he started off as he was named the Bold when he was 10 years old because he fought as a mystery knight and attorney.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Knighted at age 16, part of the Kingsguard at like age 23, and did a whole bunch of heroic things.
And he beat a lot of, like, esteemed fighters.
Major people.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, at one point it said, like, Robert, Oberyn, and, like, Rhaegar.
Sir Duncan, Prince Duncan.
Yeah. So many people. But those were the ones that stuck out to me, because I was like, these are all people who love to be like, I can fight, you know? And it was terror. I was like, whoa, this man's good. But also question, what was the Kingswood Brotherhood? Because this comes up a bit.
That was a like group of outlaws back in the day. Mm-hmm. And that's really all the information we really have about them at this point. But they were a group of outlaws. Jaime also fought against them.
Okay.
I think they were what are they called again?
Sellswords or...
No. What's their name?
Whose?
A Kingswood Brotherhood. Okay, yeah. So I guess they operated out of the Kingswood. I was like, were they the Riverlands or where? But yeah, that's kind of all we know about them.
Okay.
And we hear about a few people in it: Simon Toyne, and the Smiling Knight, and all of that stuff.
Okay.
He apparently Barristan Selmy slew the last of the Blackfyre pretenders, Maelys the Monstrous. That is major.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember from Duncan Egg, the second one. Okay.
I do not.
So Aegon the Fourth, Aegon the Unworthy, he legitimized all of his bastards, and he had like a bazillion bastards. And then he gave his like top bastard his own sword, Blackfyre. And then the bastards like named themselves Blackfyre. And we're like, oh, look, him giving me this sword and me being legitimized means I'm king now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So there were a bunch of rebellions from the Blackfyres. And and remember that guy, Sir Used to Be Cool?
Yeah.
He fought on the side of the Blackfyres because he believed that they were the rightful kings.
Like the bastards who were legitimized.
Yes. Oh. Remember that becomes like a whole plot point because Dunk doesn't realize that.
Right.
And then when he does, he has to like be like, oh, do I still fight for this guy even though he fought on the wrong side? Because that's why he lost all his lands and stuff. And he's still trying to claim that this river belongs to me or stream or whatever.
Right.
Remember that?
Vaguely.
The Sworn Sword, the whole thing is that they're fighting over the water of this one stream. And Dunk goes to like the spider lady.
Right, yeah.
To like be like, hey, we need that water, it's ours. Our Sir Eustace owns it. And she's like, actually he doesn't. He fought on the wrong side in the war and I was awarded that land and everything.
Right. And then
So that's the whole thing.
Okay.
So the Blackfyre Rebellion, that was like the first one. There were others because the Blackfyres kept coming back trying to win back the whole thing. Yeah. And finally, the whole Blackfyre Rebellion thing was ended by Barristan Selmy when he slew the last Blackfyre. That's major.
Oh my god. And they just dismissed him.
Yeah, so he did that. He also brought King Aerys II to safety, despite the fact that he was wounded. Like, that's major. Like,
oh my god.
you know?
Yeah.
He avenged somebody's murder, and oh my god, it just goes on and on. I like flipped a page and it was still going.
Yeah.
Basically, he did all the things, and he even fought valiantly in the Battle of the Trident. Even though he was fighting on the other side, Robert forgave him and made him Lord Commander.
Oh my god.
And he served in the honor guard that brought Cersei Lannister to King's Landing.
Oh my god.
He led an attack during Greyjoy's rebellion, and then in his 61st year, he has been dismissed from service by King Joffrey the First for reasons of advanced age. And Jaime's like,
the fact that he had time, he was like, I need to finish this before I go. This is my last
no,
thing.
he was literally running for his life because Joffrey sent people after him. But Jaime was amused, though unsurprised, to find that Sir Barristan had taken the time to record his own dismissal before leaving the castle.
That's so funny.
I don't know. He just seems like such a, I don't know. He's got this principled thing. I love him.
He seems wonderful.
And he's with Dany now, so that's good.
Yeah, we like Dany. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway, and then Jaime reads his own account, which is a little lacking. And just basically, 15th year knighted, 15th year made Kingsguard, fought in this tourney, that tourney, whatever.
Kingslayer.
King Daenerys. Killed Daenerys, became Kingslayer, pardoned, also served in the guard that brought Cersei, and then won the tourney at their wedding, which is so interesting. I just found that.
Oh my god.
But that's the end of it.
That's so sad.
And Jaime's all like salty about it. He's like, he could have recorded a few other of my tourney victories.
Yeah, well, he didn't need that many tourney victories, buddy.
Yeah, and I did all that stuff with the Kingswood Brotherhood. That was something.
Not him crisising. This is so funny.
Yeah. But then he tells a story about Sir Arthur Dane, about fighting the Kingswood Brotherhood. And he says so he's fighting this guy named the Smiling Knight. The outlaw's longsword had so many notches by the end that Sir Arthur had stopped to let him fetch a new one. It's that white sword of yours I want, the robber knight told him as they resumed, though he was bleeding from a dozen wounds by then. Then you shall have it, sir, the Sword of the Morning replied, and made an end of it. I don't know.
Oh my god.
That was just, I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, of course, fights with Dawn, which is like a major sword.
Yeah. And he's like, the world was simpler in those days, and men as well as swords were made of finer steel. Or was it only that he had been 15? And that was, I feel like that's so true about everything. Yeah. Like, even in our world, it's just like, it's always you look back and you're like, it was so much better then. And like, what has happened, Yeah.
And he's like, everybody I knew back then has died, including the boy I used to be. That boy wanted to be Sir Arthur Dane, but someplace along the way he had become the Smiling Knight instead.
That's so sad.
That hurt my heart a little.
That was so sad. My god. I'm sorry, Jaime. But honestly, the rest of
give him a hug.
But the rest of the chapter was a girl boss. On his part.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of made up for it, great. But the first part I was so depressing.
He's only self-deprecating in his mind. Out loud, he's like, he's got all the swag in the world.
Yeah, I know, but it's so sad, looking back. It's like, he was a kid, traumatized,
he had all these dreams. He was gonna marry his sister. Sorry. I had to.
We gotta humble him a bit.
Yeah, but also, like, we gotta keep the theme consistent throughout the episode. We can't just drop it in the middle of it.
I'm dead. Yeah, but basically, they start coming in a little bit, and, he's interacting with them as we're getting ready, and the 3 older ones sit on one side, and the 3 newer ones sit on one side, and he's like, oh, is this some early division? I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah. The only time, there had been times during its history when Kingsguard had been divided against itself, most notably and bitterly during the Dance of the Dragons. That's right. You don't know anything about it, but basically the show House of the Dragon is based on the story of the Dance of Dragons. So everybody's like, oh, it's a mention of the thing that we just watched a show about. Like, that's how my brain went. Funny. So they do this thing where he's like, okay, who guards the king? They tell him. And will they keep him safe? They will. Be seated then. And it's like this ritual that before they can be in session, they gotta be sure the king's guard. Safe. Yeah, no, I liked it. Like, I like this kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know.
It's like a bit, and I love it.
Exactly.
Because half of them...
Commitment to the bit over hundreds of years.
Because half of them don't even mean it. So it basically is a bit. Because it's just for the glamour.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And he's kind of, like, evaluating everyone in his head. He's thinking about, like, oh, yeah, like, Trant and Blunt are, like, old. You know, I know them. Like, they're good at fighting, but, like, they're not very, like... It's not honorable. They're not better than anyone else. You know, it's not, like, Kingsguard material. And then he's thinking about Balon Swan, and he's like, okay, he's chilling. And he's like, oh, yeah, freaking Knight of Flowers. Heard all about him.
Yeah, at least he can fight. Yeah.
And then he's like, Osmond, who is this man? And then he's...
Cattle Black who?
Yeah. Ugh. And he's basically like,
so...
The king died on your watch. Like, what are you doing?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just expressing.
Yeah, and they talk about whether it was the wine that poisoned him, and they're like, oh, well, what else could it be? And besides, your brother poured it out at the end. Doesn't that prove him guilty? And Balon Swan is like, hang on. And this is the guy that was like, I don't think he did it, but he did this other thing.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, like, there was a lot happening at that dais. Like, anybody really could have done it.
I like him. Slay.
Yeah. And Loras is convinced that Sansa did it.
Okay, so some mention of Sansa.
She wanted to kill both Joffrey and Marjorie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She was so jealous. That's why she was hanging out with her all the time and becoming friends.
Right. I mean, Sansa did do it, sort of.
Okay. That is not the point, and you know it.
I know. But he's very suspicious of her. To think that Sansa had, like, a huge crush on her is so sad.
I know. Oh, sad.
On her. Sansa had a huge crush on him. Oh, whatever. Okay. Pronouns.
Gender is a construct.
It truly is. Tyrion, blah, blah,
Jaime's
blah.
basically like, I need to look into that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he kind of has a point.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tyrion might yet be innocent. And so he's like, okay, we'll get back to that later, like, into note to self. So he's like, okay, whatever happened, Joffrey's dead, and Tommen is king now, so we gotta save him. And he turns to Boris Blunt and is like, you look like a man who enjoys his food. You will now be his food taster. Is that the word? Right. Food taster. That is a term. And Blunt is not happy with this. Really, like, gets up all in a huff about it. And Jaime is reflecting on how, like, Cersei shouldn't have taken away his cloak, but the fact that his dad gave it back makes it worse. Because this dude is just unbearable. I won't suffer this. You should be the food taster. What else is a cripple good for? Just that whole thing. And Jaime is like, oh yeah, no, I agree. Let's fight it out. Let's see who wins. And that'll be that. And he, like, in his head, he's like, I can't beat this man even if I tried. But he has to act like, oh yeah, I still am the fighter I used to be, and there's still, remember that. So this guy storms off instead. Oh, spits in Jaime's feet and then storms off.
Oh my god. Also,
okay, I hate this, but I had to bring it up because it's gross, but I don't want to, but I have to. His phlegm is green. Why is his phlegm green?
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't either, but I just want to say somebody be like,
okay,
I know
let's move on.
It's gross.
Let's move on. I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and he basically turns
Then-
to Kettle Black and he's like, I have literally fought with everybody, never eat soggy weed.
How have I never heard
North,
of you?
east, southwest. Like, where have you been? What is happening? And he's like, you know, here, there, every fucking where. Do you like my
he's
reference?
like, I'm
Do you
not
like
a
my
attorney
reference?
knight. I'm a
Do you
soldier.
like my reference? He's here.
Yes.
He's there. He's every fucking where.
It's every
You
fucking
didn't
where.
acknowledge it.
Because yes. I'm so sorry. I think it got in my brain about what I was going to say next, and then I didn't really listen to you. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yes. Hang on. Okay. I want to address the fact that this guy is talking to Jaime as they were old comrades in arms playing some jolly little game. Like,
yeah.
ugh.
I think it's just the Kettle Black, like, friend.
MO.
Yeah, like the friendly fighting vibe, you know? Where they're just like, hey, buddy, to everyone to get on your good. It's the
Yeah.
networking in them, you know?
I guess. Anyway, this is where Jamie's like, where did you serve before? And that's when he's like, here, there.
Fucking
every
where?
fucking where. Kettle Black. I don't know.
Oh my god. And he's like,
Um,
I've been to, and this is when he gets sassy. He's like, I've been to the north, south, east, west. I haven't been to here nor there. So I'm gonna ask you again. Like, all of this, I was just like, yes, Jaime, live in your light right now.
And this guy makes up some bullshit. Like, I don't know if this might be true, but I feel like it's like he could have easily made it up.
Yeah.
Like, in the Stepstones, like where nobody else ever goes. Like, not that ever, but like Jaime wouldn't have gone, right? And I was fighting with these people, and then this guy knighted me, Robert Stone, but he's dead now. And Jamie's like, well, maybe he did. This was a guy, but maybe he just looked around, saw Robert's name somewhere, and then looked at the wall and was like, Stone, and then he made that house.
I'm dead. Please.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, anyway, it was a very good visual.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, Jamie's just like, okay, fine, whatever, go. And then he leaves, grinning and swaggering, which,
Oh my, I don't like that.
yeah, and then he turns to Meryn. Here, show me where it is in our vows that we swear to beat women and children, because he is the one who beat Sansa at Joffrey's orders.
Mhm.
And his defense is, oh, Joffrey ordered me to. And Jamie's like, shut the fuck up.
Joffrey's literally a baby.
Oh. Yeah. Obey the king's hand, obey Cersei, which I don't know about. But yeah.
Yeah.
But the king is 8. Our first duty is to protect him. And it includes protecting him from himself.
Go off.
And just like, weigh the order. If he tells you to saddle a horse, obey that. But if he tells you to kill the horse, come to me.
Yeah.
Which, really, like, it's obviously common sense and shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But Meryn Trent is horrible and cruel, and also killed, what's his name?
Illyri, or Syrio.
Syrio Farrell, exactly. So he can go fuck himself.
Yep.
Okay, then he dismisses him. He turns to Balon Swan, and he's like, you know what? I don't really got too many things to pick at with this guy. But his brother did swear fealty to Renly and then Stannis, and that's real wishy-washy. I don't like it. So tell me, if your brother chooses to do this again, who are you going to fight for? What is it? Yeah, he's and then
he's like, that's not gonna happen. It happened to me.
Yeah, he's like us. Exactly,
Y'all know it happened to me.
And then Balon Swan does this thing where he's like, yeah, okay, if that happens, I swear I shall not do as you did. Which Jaime is like, okay,
that could have been
I get
risky,
it.
but I respect him enough to be okay with him doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And then he says, okay, get to your duties and tell Sir Donal, your brother, to add a weather vane to his shield, which is just, do you know what a weather vane is? It's like those things that like point in the direction of the wind kind of thing.
Oh, so like
so he's like, yeah, so he can.
That's so funny.
The way the winds are blowing.
Wait, that's so funny. I love that.
Right?
I love Jaime.
I love that.
I love Jaime. Icon.
I know. Yeah. Okay, now it is Loris's turn. And
this is like looking in a mirror.
Exactly. They're, they have back and forth. I won't like quote everything because that would be too much, but everything Jaime says, Loris has a comeback for. And he's like, he's me. I am speaking to myself as I was, all cocksure arrogance and empty chivalry.
Please.
This is what it does to you, to be too good, too young.
Gifted child syndrome. Oh my god. Ugh.
So he's like, okay, yeah, you fought well at the Battle of the Blackwater, almost as well as Renly's ghost. Mystery solved.
Finally, one thing solved.
Yeah. So he's like, who was in Renly's armor? And you have to tell me because I'm your sworn brother. Mm-hmm. And he tells him it was my brother, Sir Garland, because he fit the suit better. And the whole thing was Littlefinger's idea.
Why does he have good ideas?
Yeah.
He's smart and I hate it.
You'll really be getting everywhere. Okay, and then Jaime asks what he did with Renly. Apparently Loras buried him at some place near Storm's End, but no one's ever going to find him. He's at peace. That's good. I don't want anything bad to happen.
Okay, question.
Renly, so.
And then he says, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna defend King Tommen and everything, but I'm telling you right now, like, I would never betray Renly by word or deed. But this is excuse me. But this is confusing to me.
How?
Like, I get that, like, Renly's dead now, and it's not like we can still champion Renly's cause, but it's just like, you're literally supporting someone else now.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I think that's for sure the case, but I think Jaime appreciates that Loras is just so forthcoming with all that.
Yeah.
Because everybody else would be like, secretly, I still believe Renly should have been king, but they won't say it out loud. Whereas Loras is like, yeah, I'm going to say it out loud, whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think
it's that cocksure arrogance and youth that's coming
I think I was like, why would he, like, I don't know, like, does he not see that as having supported someone else other than Renly? Like, do you know what I mean? I
think everybody thinks that. And even later on, like, I think the whole, like, narrative, people are like, Stannis is evil. Renly was trying to beat Stannis kind of thing.
Right.
Like, they've kind of spun the narrative as a way, like, not that Renly was opposing Joffrey and Tommen and whoever, but that he was opposing Stannis more so. Right. So, like, it's not as much of a problem.
Right. Yeah.
Like, even Marjorie's like, yeah, I loved my lord husband, but he died and we never consummated our marriage and whatever, right? Yeah, and I think the Tyrells have enough power currently that they can get away with things like this.
No, that makes sense. I think I'm also, like, I'm not necessarily saying, like, oh, why would they accept Loras vibes? I'm saying, does Loras not see this kind of as a slight to Renly? That he's now completely...
To Renly?
That he's completely on someone else's
that
side.
Part?
That's what I'm referring to. Or is it kind of like he had to do it and, like, Renly would understand vibe? Like, do you know what I mean? Because he's saying, I would never...
Because Renly's dead now.
I know, but he's saying I would never betray Renly. But now he's on someone else's side, so I guess he's just like...
Yeah, but Renly's not there to be betrayed.
I guess, but it's still...
I think he is just, like, has a real separation of, like...
This is my job,
he's
and
dead
he's
now.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. It was just, like... Yeah, and I guess it's, like, their whole plea to...
He might have, like, had a bunch of therapy sessions about this. We don't know.
Yeah, because therapy exists in this world. But I just thought, like, you know, it's just interesting, because it was, like, their whole plea when they came to the Tyrells was, oh, we fight in Renly's name. You know? Which is, like, weird.
Wait, hang on. Who came to the Tyrells?
Wasn't Littlefinger's convincing of... Because remember their army was scattered because Renly was gone, and it was like, is Stannis gonna take them? And then they got Littlefinger to them first, or not first, but they got...
Well, Littlefinger, I think the convincing thing was being like, hey, Marjorie can marry Joffrey.
I guess, but specifically for Loras. Like, I know not all of them cared about Renly, but...
I don't know if we know the specifics, whether Littlefinger was like, yeah, fight in Renly's army.
Or if Loras was just like, okay, my family wants power, I'll just have to come to terms with it, duty calls. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think I was always...
We weren't there, we don't know.
Yeah, I wish we could be in his head. I feel like that would be interesting.
Okay, then Jaime brings up Brienne.
Mm-hmm.
And Loras is not happy. He wants her in a black cell, and she never deserved to... she deserves death. I told Renly that a woman has no place in the Rainbow Guard. Thank you, Renly. Thank you for that. True. Sorry, not Renly. Loras. Just like we needed some sexism. It hadn't happened in a little bit, you know?
Please.
Yeah, and she won the melee with a trick. Like, I lost, but it was a trick. And,
oh my God.
And then Jaime's like, I seem to recall some people who also played tricks in tourneys and stuff.
Specifically against Gregor? Do you remember that name?
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but she killed him, or she let him die. And Jaime is like, opportunity. There's a difference between those two. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna hone in on that. And he basically just lets Loras kind of talk out the situation. He's like, how could anybody have hurt him unless they were a part of it? And Jaime's like, well, Joffrey died and you were there.
You're saying you didn't know anything?
How could he die? Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. How could he have died if you were not part of it? And Loras is like, there was nothing I could have done. And Jaime's like, well, that's what she says too. And she truly grieves for Renly. And trust me, I never grieve for Aerys. So this is not a king-slaying moment. And Loras goes through like kind of she and Catelyn, they ran like,
why would they run?
I'd been with Renly. Yeah, I'd been with Renly, but he sent me away to lead the vanguard. And then these people were guarding the tent. And then also, he basically is like, the gorget was cut, like one clean stroke, and no matter how strong she is, it would have taken like a heavy axe. Yeah. And also, why would she arm him just to kill him?
Yeah.
Like, he's now poking holes in his own story, and I like that Jaime just kind of lets him come to his own conclusions there. This was
nice. It was like a guiding your younger self through a thing. It was nice.
Yeah, but he's basically like, but how could it be a shadow, though?
Yeah.
Jaime's like, well, go ask her your questions, hear her answers, and if you're still convinced she killed Renly, then she will answer for it. Otherwise, we will release her, and I just ask that you judge her fairly. This
was cute.
And
this was adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, Loras agrees. Do you think he will come to the conclusion that Brienne did not kill Renly?
I think so.
Okay, that's good. We need some of that.
Yeah.
Then we get some more, thoughts of Renly on Brienne. Renly thought she was absurd, a woman dressed in man's mail pretending to be a knight.
Lovely. This was great to know.
I asked him why he kept her close, if he thought her so grotesque. He said that all his other knights wanted things of him, castles or honors or riches, but all that Brienne wanted was to die for him. And we know that she kind of sort of loved him, and it really sucks that Renly kind of thought of her as a bit of a joke. Yeah. I hope she never finds out, basically.
We just used her, man.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And then Loras comes to realization that if she's innocent, he just killed a couple of people for no good reason. And Jaime has to be like, oh, you just did what you had to do, and like try to reassure him. And he leaves. Jaime is left to think about like, okay, so Renly. God, Loras is so consumed with the fact that he might have like killed two of his own brothers for not. No. Hang on, that's not it. Loras was in such a rage after seeing Renly dead that he killed down two of his own brothers. And here's my son who died, and I don't even feel like killing any of mine. He's like, maybe I should kill Boros just to get rid of him.
Dead.
Do you think he will?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, he's the food taster now, so.
But I think he was also. It was so concerning to me that they were the only one. Like when he told them, like, you guys were all there, and he just died. The only one who even seemed to care was frickin', what's his face? Balon Swan. And it's just like, man, this is the Kingsguard. Like, this is what I kind of was feeling Jaime's emotions here, where I was like, this is what the Kingsguard has come to. Y'all bring this kingdom shame.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's a sad bunch.
Yeah. Very concerning.
Then he like looks down at his stump and he's like, Jacelyn Bywater had an iron hand. I should get myself a gold hand. Just casual.
This is funny.
But then he's like, okay, the hand can wait. There are other things to do first. There were other debts to pay.
I have no fucking idea. I don't know. Don't ask me because I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Give me one possibility. Just like the wildest possibility, and then we will
I don't know why, but I think it's Tyrion.
Okay.
You know how he's constantly like, I did something to him. I did something to him. I won't tell you guys what, but I did something to him. Maybe he's like, oh, well, he might be about to die anyway. I may as well right that wrong.
Okay. How so?
I don't know. Like, go tell him or something.
Okay, but then how would that pay the debt?
I don't know. Okay, maybe he's gonna, like, help him find someone or, like, be on his side or something. Or, I don't know.
Like, be that go-between that he needs right now to win this case.
I don't know.
Baby be his witness? I don't know.
What's he gonna witness to? He hasn't seen him since book 1.
My brother's cool. It was actually me. I killed Joffrey. It was a ghost of me.
Please. I don't know. I just feel like this is a Tyrion thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Boros Blunt is food taster. Is anybody going to try to poison Tommen?
I don't think so.
All right. Brienne, you think will be, Loras will think she's innocent and be freed, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I don't think I have any other.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Do you have any?
I think we're good. Okay.
Hang on. All right. We are done 79% of the book now.
Whoa. That's kind of scary.
We still have months to go. Don't worry about it.
What if we get to the end of the 5th book?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
I'm scared. I don't want to be in the position you guys are in. That's the only nice thing about being unspoiled. I don't gotta wait for nothing. It's all out.
No. Except it's not all out.
As far as I know it is, because we still have years to go.
All right, we have some emails. Let's read them quick.
Should we do next chapters first?
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Yes, okay. Next chapter. Let's talk about next chapters.
Okay.
We are reading 2 next time. Give me your hopes and predicaments.
I would like to see Tyrion, because I want to know if he dies. And I want to see what Sansa's up to.
Very nice. Well, we're reading chapter 68 and 69. And chapter 68 is in fact Sansa.
Wow. Okay, we'll see where Littlefinger's actually taking her and what the disguise is for her.
Okay. Chapter 69 is Jon.
Jon! Okay, I mean... Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze and then it didn't come. For Jon, we'll see, what him being commander, interim commander is like. And hopefully those people will come back and hopefully we'll be able to defend against the gate and all that stuff.
Cool. Salute. All right. On to emails. We have 3 emails today. The first one is from Mott's. It is titled A Long and Slightly Sappy Email. Dear Harmouth and Mott.
My name is first. My name is first. Thank you, Mott's.
Egotistical
I'm not egotistical. I have low self-esteem and I fight for scraps.
I am currently re-listening to the books as I'm writing this, but I just started book 5 and I don't actually remember which parts of Storm you've actually read. Therefore, to make sure I avoid spoilers, the email won't actually have any insight. That's a lot of actually, Smarts.
Please.
To make sure I avoid spoilers, this email won't actually have any insightful thoughts on the books themselves. Not that I have a lot of insightful thoughts normally.
Oh my
though,
God.
I mean, who am I? Leah? Okay, Mott's. Enough with the self-deprecation. The next time you send me an email like this, I'm not going to read it. I'm just saying that.
This is a warning.
Anyway. Point is, instead of talking A Song of Ice and Fire today, I'm going to be plugging the Discord.
That's so funny, Mott's. That is so funny.
It's like we paid him, like...
we paid him in love and appreciation. And that's the best kind of payment.
I will start off by saying that you absolutely should join the Discord if you haven't already. It's easily my favorite online community at the moment, and really at any moment. And it always makes my day when I get a notification from it. If you are one of those people who finds groups of people a little scary, I get it. And I can relate. I have been there before, and I still find myself there from time to time. However, no one is going to make you be more active than you feel comfortable being. It's a place where you can participate just as much or as little as you want to. Just lurking is totally okay. No one is going to judge you for being who you are, and we'll all just be happy to have you here. Sometimes I myself lurk, because I don't have a lot of time to be replying to everything, so I'll just read through things and make sure there's no spoilers, but then also just entertain myself.
Yeah, oh my God. That's such a good pitch. I love that.
Yeah. Also, okay, interlude to Mott's email. I want to talk about our Discord policies a little bit. Okay, so this past week, one of our Discord members left because they accidentally sent a spoiler 2 times, I think in the same day or a couple days. And the spoilers were caught, Harmouth saw nothing, it was fine, and they were minor spoilers to begin with. I just don't want people to be so stressed about spoiling that they're not feeling okay participating. Yeah. As long as you're not maliciously trying to spoil Harmouth, it's okay. People make mistakes. And we, usually I get notifications. I stay on top of it. Mott's is on top of it. And we have plenty of other people who are always looking through things. Don't worry about it. Just come and be yourself. And you know who you are. We hope you come back.
Yes, please.
Really.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't want to call people out because that's too intense. I wouldn't want that kind of attention on me, but
yeah. And yes. Oh my God, where did my thought go? Give me a second. But yeah, no, literally, to echo all of that. Yeah, don't be stressed
it's
out.
Okay.
It's here for fun. Like Nav said, if you're not actively going out of your way and DMing me a spoiler, that's the only thing that we'd be maybe don't do that, you know? But as long as you have good intentions, that's literally all that matters. And things happen. It's okay.
And we want all of our community to be able to join. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a PSA or something.
Yeah.
Back to Mott's email. So my questions to you are, would you like to have a place where you can just... Oh, no, sorry. This is... Yeah, sorry. I thought he was asking these questions, but he's asking the
This is
listener
still
questions.
the pitch.
Yes. I shouldn't have stopped mid-pitch. I literally thought it was questions for us.
Can't.
I'm so self-centered.
Please.
Would you like to have a place where you can just be yourself? Would you like to make some new friends? Would you like to have a place where you can nerd out about this lovely, funny, only slightly depressing book series? I'm not a doctor, but I still feel qualified to say that if your answer to any of those questions was yes, you should try a dose of joining the Discord.
Oh my god. Wait, that's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Mods. That was beautiful and so heartfelt, and it makes me happy. And I love it.
Yeah. There are very few things that make me happier than getting to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire in the Song of Ice and Fire Symposium server. It's filled with lovely people, and it's really great to not have to worry about being judged for liking the series. I mean, is it a little problematic? Yes. Is it slightly irrelevant after Benioff and Weiss decided to stop giving a shit and ruin the show? Maybe. However, I don't think I've ever loved the series more than I do right now, and that's in large part thanks to this podcast and the Discord. The server brings me so much joy, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
That's so
great.
I love that. Thank you, Mods. You're an icon. And listen to Mods, everybody.
This community truly means the world to me, and I cannot even begin to express to you how grateful I am to be a part of it. Thank you, Nav and Harmouth, for creating this community, and to everyone else for being a part of it.
Thank you, Mods.
I hope Nav, Harmouth, and everyone listening have a wonderful day. Sincerely, Mots.
Slay, Mots.
P.S. Why do I feel as though I've just tried to tell people to join a cult? No comment.
Please, that's so funny. No, I feel like cult advertisements aren't that sweet and heartfelt. Not that I would know. I've never been recruited for a cult, but I don't think so.
Well, you know my opinion on cults, so
yeah, maybe
we're just going to move right on.
During this part, okay?
Okay. Next email. Also from Mots. Titled, 2 emails in one day. Yeah, sorry, y'all. Dearest Harmouth, and Nav too, I guess. Whatever. Excuse me, Mots.
Okay, I love
Excuse
this.
you,
that makes
actually.
Me so happy. Slay, Mots. Thank you.
Why am I whatever? Why am I a guess? Why am I an afterthought?
You're not an afterthought. Homie's just making up for every other time where your name was first for some reason.
Everybody can put your name first.
But nobody
doesn't
does,
matter.
Which is the thing. Which is what we're making up for.
Okay, fine. I guess. Whatever. There's been kind of a trend recently of people saying Harmouth's name first when greeting you, so I figured I'd jump on that train too. Anyway, I really loved the last episode. I'm listening to it for the second time as I'm writing this, and it literally came out earlier today, and you can probably see I have thoughts. Number 1, I can't wait to see how y'all's feelings about Stannis the Man has changed from now on. Personally, I'm neither here nor there in terms of how I feel about him, but if you end up making him making me like him more, I'm all here for it.
The peer
that's
pressure.
In regards to you,
the peer pressure that's gotten
suddenly
to
switching
me.
gears.
Yeah. Me doing that as he's about to kill a child, or potentially about to kill a child. It's okay.
While also suggesting that he may kill his own child.
I'm not saying that's the reason.
You're like, he's a good guy. It's fine.
It's fine. It's okay. I don't need to defend myself.
Number 2. Thanks to the conversation in the latest episode about the John chapter, I'm now picturing a spin-off TV show set at Castle Black, but it's a workplace sitcom. I'm awful at explaining, so for context, check around the 48-minute, 30-second mark of the episode. I believe that's to me visualizing everybody waiting for the elevator.
Please. That's so funny.
Number 3. I always kind of forget just how long the battle at the wall takes in the books. Like, not to spoil the show, but it doesn't take nearly as long. Like, that kind of makes sense, right? And it always catches me by surprise when I'm reading it. Yeah, the show does not have the capacity to go into the detail that George R. R. Martin does. Sometimes George R. R. Martin spares some of the details, but he doesn't. And I respect him for that choice, I guess.
Yeah.
If only he would speed it up with the writing a little bit. Okay. Number 4. I wouldn't consider myself a John fangirl, but I have to say, Battle Leader John is really doing something for me.
It's hot, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I don't care how much you think he's...
I don't think anybody's trying to convince me otherwise. Everybody agrees on this.
Wow. Wow is all I have to say.
Well, let's see what you have to say to this one. Number 5. Harmouth not knowing that dogs can swim. That's it. That's my note. I don't have anything else to add.
You know what? I have never had pets. And I've been afraid of dogs my entire life. Okay? So that's where we're at. I'm very sheltered in that respect.
Number 6. Harmouth. I like traumatizing men. I can respect that. I can't even remember why you said that.
I think it was me.
It was literally so recently.
I was going to say I made a typo, but I made a verbalo. I said the wrong thing.
A Freudian slip, if you will.
I just said the wrong thing. I was like, I think I meant to say I like men who are traumatized or something, but I accidentally said I like traumatized men, and then I made it a bigger deal than it was, and it was funny. I think that's what it was.
All right. Number 7. I 100% agree with Harmouth about Yaya. That's how that's pronounced, by the way.
Finally.
Being one of my favorite parts about the Discord. Thank you for being your weird, wonderful, dramatic self. We love you, Yaya.
Iconic. Slave.
Did I just send 2 lengthy emails in one day? Yes. Do I feel bad about it? Actually, also yes. I feel like I'm being annoying. Okay, I'm not reading this. Mots, no. Stop it. We love your emails. Send all of them. It's fine. And I'm not kidding. If you send me another self-deprecating thought, I am not reading it out loud.
That's so funny.
Anyway, as always, I hope you both have a wonderful day. Sincerely, Mots.
Slay.
P.S. Unlike Yaya, I am not sorry for participating in the group torture that is the podcast. I love having fun on Harmouth's expense.
And now I understand why the start of the email was so Harmouth-centric. So you could say that at the end.
Wait. PPS. Okay, fine. The PS was only partially true. And I'm also sending hugs to Harmouth.
Okay,
Sorry.
There we go. Because I was like, no wonder you started with the, oh, dearest Harmouth, because you wanted to say that at the end.
PPPS. Just saying, I would totally collaborate with Yaya to make a collage of all the hot characters in the show.
I think that you guys need to get on that.
I think they actually are.
Really?
On it.
I'm not like, listen.
But they've been having trouble finding non-spoilers.
Okay, I'm not joking when I say that. Like, I genuinely need that.
Maybe y'all can find pictures of people like outside of the show. I don't know, because I get it that most of we've only watched the one episode, so everything is a spoiler.
Can't you just cut other people out of the photos? Just crop it.
I think the 2 people you wanted were like John's, the guy who plays John and the guy who plays Rob. Both of them are in the Eternals. So somebody cut together stuff from that. I don't know. God. I remember I went to watch the Eternals way after it had been out, and I went by myself. That was the first movie I went to see by myself, and I highly recommend. We don't always need company, you know? Anyway, that's besides the point. What am I talking about?
Eternals, seeing them on the screen.
Right. So so it was just me and I think 2 other people sitting in the corner of the theater. And I remember both of them, both Kit Harington and Richard Madden coming on screen, and me just snort laughing because I was picturing them as their characters from A Song of Ice and Fire, but then they were doing totally different roles. It was just really
hilarious.
Funny. Okay. Whew, I need to catch a breath. That was so much talking. Okay, one final email today. It is titled, "You're right, I do need therapy."
Who sent this email?
This email is from Karen.
That's so funny.
Karen writes, "Dear Nuv and Harmouth, I'm still not caught up."
Is this in reference to Red Wedding and me being all of you need therapy and all of you are traumatized and terrible? Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
Okay. Dear Nev and Harmouth, I am still not caught up, but I am getting closer. I have finally listened to the Red Wedding chapter. Hearing Harmouth be so optimistic for Catelyn and Arya's reunion broke my heart. But oh, you going on a rant about how anyone can enjoy these books with all the pain they cause made me laugh. This is my favorite book, and one of my favorite characters is murdered gruesomely. As a Jaime girl, this book delights me. As a Robb girl, this book depresses me.
That's so funny.
It's so true. At least I know you'll have a good moment in the future when you find out Arya is alive.
Oh, yay.
Don't feel bad about crying about the Red Wedding. Everyone cries over the Red Wedding. There's a video of the actors who play Catelyn and Robb watching the Red Wedding crying.
Really? That's so cute.
Yeah. I remember the video, but I don't remember them crying, so maybe I need to go back and watch it. I believe George R. R. Martin has said that the Red Wedding chapters were the last he wrote for these books because he didn't want to write them. I think Karen means the last he wrote for this book in particular, which would make sense. Whenever YouTube reactors get to the Red Wedding, the comments always say, "You are not a sweet summer child anymore. You are a Lord/Lady of Winterfell."
So
or no, not Winter, of Winter.
Oh.
Congrats on becoming a Lady of Winter.
Oh my
Harmouth.
God. The way I refer to it, Karen, is that I'm a sweet autumn child now instead of a sweet summer child. So that's been our take
because you still haven't seen all the trauma. So
that's been our take on it, but I like that.
You become a child of winter once you finish the 5 books and have to wait for the 6th book. That's when you become a child of winter.
Oh my God, basically. Hopefully it'll be done by then and I won't have to be a child of winter.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, there's also one more book after that one, but
It's okay. It's okay.
Good thoughts. Speaking of Robb, my boy, literally a boy, never gets to see his 17th birthday. Oh
Don't say that. I'm gonna cry. I can't.
Or birthday or name day, whatever. He dies for being too honorable, just like his father. He marries Jane to preserve her honor. Blah, gross. That's in there. That's not just me, even though I would add that. He kills Karstark for honor. Ned taught him too well. Poor Robb has girl lost too close to the sun. In a lot of ways, Robb reminds me of Alexander the Great, a young wonderkind who takes over their father's kingdom/army, who wins every battle he fights, but then dies at dinner. Although we don't know exactly what Alexander died from, Robb is infinitely more sympathetic than Alexander, however. Sorry, those interludes were my references, and whoever gets them, you get a special star from me. Last paragraph about Robb. I swear, I can't remember if you discussed Robb also possibly being a warg like Jon and Bran. If you haven't, you can omit this part, but there are hints in there that he is also having a close relationship to Grey Wind. I think we did talk about it, how he was probably developing those abilities, but then he developed mistrust of Grey Wind after he thought his brothers died. And that really screwed him over. Yeah. Another note, I have been so distracted by the Red Wedding, I didn't mention you finally have met Oberyn, another favorite character.
Oh.
Although I don't know if it's Oberyn I love or the show actor. I can't talk about my favorite characters. This email would be 10 pages long. I get it. Yeah, and this was a good Oberyn chapter too, so hope you enjoyed it when you're listening to this email. Also, I finally decided to join the Discord. I need a place to unload some crackpot theories of my own. Daenerys is the child of Ashara Dane, Robb and Theon are in love, etc.
Wait, what?
Those are the theories. Don't make fun of me before you hear my very real and non-delusional reasonings.
That's so funny. I am so looking forward to that.
Please share, Karen. Looking forward to those. Oh, Nav, you mentioned that you thought Ned and Catelyn didn't have a bedding. That's because it doesn't happen in the show. Catelyn mentions it. So I think that's why you were confused. I don't know if someone has mentioned that to you in a future episode. I haven't listened to it yet. I think I did remember that she specifically, like, in the show, it's not a thing. But I also, I just thought that Ned was the kind of dude that wouldn't let it be a thing. So, that makes sense. That's all. Sorry for the long email. I will be sending more. Don't be sorry. Please send more. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my god. Okay, slay.
Sincerely, Karen, she, her. P.S. This is a spoiler, so I'm going to bleep it. I may be a Jaime girl and a Rob girl, but I'm also a Bleep girl. Can't wait until we get to meet Bleep.
Oh my god, who is Bleep?
So we haven't. You'll just have to read and find out. Yet?
Oh my god, we're in the middle of the third book and we're still getting new favorite characters? What are you laughing at?
It's so adorable.
We're in the middle of the third book. Like, how many new people are we gonna meet? Okay, I guess if Dany keeps voyaging and we go to Dorne or some shit, like, whatever. Okay, whatever. Calm down.
I'm so sorry. That's just such a... Oh, okay, I'll try to read it out.
Oh my god. Anyway, thank you for your email, Karen. You're an icon. And I'm happy you joined the Discord.
Yeah.
And I love the Rob fangirling. Homie deserves so much love.
Oh, okay. I think I'm back. I think.
Oh my god. Okay.
How many more people can we meet? She just said that, y'all. She just said it. Okay. Yeah, thanks for your email, Karen. And Mots, send more emails. We love them. Just all the emails and all the Discords and all the everything. We just want it all. We want to girl boss too close to the sun.
I love girl bossing too close to the sun. And then crying because I girl boss too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Oh also, there was a comment from Discord. I wanted us to do some Discord discourse. There was a comment.
Okay, which one?
Why are you scared? It was a good comment. Okay.
I don't know. Did I miss something?
I think so. I forget who it was by. I'm so sorry because I copied and pasted it instead of screenshotting it. And I forgot to include the name. You might remember who it was. But the comment...
Okay, yeah, say it.
I'm getting there. Okay, so the comment was basically... Person said, would you agree that George went uncharacteristically soft on Jon Snow by having him knowing that it wasn't his arrow that killed Ygritte? I feel like a more George...
This is from a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it just means I won't be able to find it.
I feel like a more... Well, we could just search in the channel. Just search, like, Ygritte or something.
But which channel?
I think it was general. Why would it be in question of the week? This had nothing to do with any of the questions.
No, but we also have...
Yeah, but people don't usually do on general. And you can just try both. Anyway, okay. Just try it. I feel like a more George R. R. Martin thing would be to leave it ambiguous. Ygritte dies by an arrow, and Jon has to live with the fact that it may have been his. Also, it's actually possible that Jon did kill Ygritte. He thinks it's not one of his arrows. He thinks it's not one of his arrows because of the fletching. But this is a direct quote from the book. The arrow was black, Jon saw, but it was fletched with white duck feathers. Not mine, he told himself, not one of mine, but he felt as if it were. And here's Jon's quiver. And then this is the direct quote about Jon's quiver. Jon hung a quiver from his belt and pulled an arrow. The shaft was black, the fletching gray. And then this is like the person's commentary. The arrow that killed Ygritte has white feathers and his had gray. But here's the thing. At some point during the battle, when his quiver ran out of arrows, Jon took another quiver. And this is the direct quote from the book that proves that. So, when his quiver was empty, he went to get another and moved to a different crenel, side by side with Deaf Dick Follard. And then this is the person's commentary again. And the arrows from the new quiver are not described. So it's entirely possible that his second quiver had white goose feathers, and Jon just forgot that detail in the chaos of battle. But regardless of whether Jon did or didn't kill Ygritte, I find it very interesting that George let him think that he didn't.
I found the comment. It was sent on August 21st by Alex.
Okay. Slay.
And my thought on that is, let the boy have a win.
Okay, valid.
Like, I get it. I agree with everything you've said. And I'm just gonna be like, okay, yeah, Jon totally didn't kill Ygritte, and it's great. That's why we love it.
Just live in delusion is where we're at.
Yes.
No, I agree. I don't want to acknowledge this at all, but it was a very smart point. But I'm all for emotions over intelligence. Joking. But I want to live in my delusions, you know? but that's a very good point.
Yeah, no, such attention to detail.
Slay.
Put that on your resume.
They're like, can you describe a time where you had attention to detail? Actually, so in the Song of Ice and Fire Discord server,
just like plugs our Discord in a random entry.
Honestly, yeah, we would be your reference. I'm speaking on behalf of both of us. I'm dead.
All right. Yeah, no, that's a great point. I do think George R. R. Martin was being a little easy on Jon there. But I think this is like right after the Red Wedding too. There's like a lot of bad stuff that's just happened. So he's trying to give us like and also Ygritte just died. So he's trying to give us a not as horrible thing. And it is kind of uncharacteristic for George to do that. For Martin to do that. Sorry, George. Yeah. No, good point. I basically just what I said. I think I agree. It is totally possible that Jon could have been the one, but I also am just going to pretend that he's not and live my life that way.
Please.
Yeah. Any more discourse to discord? No, discourse to discuss. I don't know what I'm saying. Words have no meaning anymore. We've been talking for 3 hours. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Damn, okay, that got intense really quickly.
It's so HD. Sorry, that's a reference to things that happened before recording.
We were on Zoom, and Zoom has the setting where you can see yourself in HD, and we clicked on it. Done.
Dude, why are you explaining our thing?
Because it's okay. People don't have to feel left out.
Okay, well, since I'm just an afterthought anyway, I guess, whatever. What? I'm never letting Mats love that down.
That's so funny.
Yeah, join the Discord to engage
in Discord
with all of this discourse. Yeah. It's a lot of there's lots of thoughtful thoughts, and there's also
a lot of thirsting.
Lots of,
and I love it.
Yes, and those are equally important.
100%. We need a place to unleash our thirsts, so we don't get dehydrated and die of heat stroke.
Okay. Anyway, come for all the wildness. Just come for the thoughts. Come for the memes. And we would love to see you there. Other than that, you can follow us on Instagram at Pop Culture Symposium and send us an email, which is popculturesymposium@gmail.com. Everything's always linked and stuff in the show notes, so just click on the thing. It's very easy. And we look forward to hearing from everybody. Until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.